Good morning, good morning, good morning. How y'all doing this lovely, lovely morning? I was trying to make sure everything was right over here on the YouTube. How's everybody's weekend going? Hope everybody's having a good day so far, and you continue to have a good day. And that no matter what happens in life or happens on these YouTube streets or outside these YouTube streets, you continue to have a good day. Shoot, y'all, I forgot the one for that still up from Friday's show, y'all. We had so much fun on Friday's show, didn't we? So I figured what we would do, and I'll repeat this probably again sometime later in the show, is have like a hey, Mr. Maddie, how are you doing? I agree with you when you say that the bullshit about Mr. MRE has to stop. That damn spreading that false ass rumor on Mr. MRE is bullshit, in my opinion. Mr. MRE don't deserve that. As the time that I've known him, he's been nothing but a gentleman and a good guy. And I know y'all have known him. Good morning, Mr. MRH. I know y'all. Good morning, Miss Bambi. Good morning, American Honey Love. I think it's bullshit to do that to people and just put those kind of jackets on people without proof. Like, here's the thing. Even though in the other camp they put a jacket on somebody, right? Right? And that person has allowed me to be slandered on their platform, and I still don't think it's okay to even put that jacket on his back without proof. Because I don't believe that that kind of jacket should be thrown around like candy. You know what I'm saying? That kind of jacket don't deserve to be thrown around like candy. Hey, my American honey. I don't believe that kind of jacket should be thrown around like, ooh, and you're this and you're no. That's the kind that you reserve for actual people who do that shit. That's not something you play with. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Jug, Florida ex promoter. You don't play with those kind of jackets. You know what I'm saying? You don't put those on somebody's back without proof. I have never put that jacket on anybody's back and even tried to help clear up some rumors on a person because when I heard the story, I heard there was no definite proof and the person was an underage child themselves when this supposedly happened, right? I don't believe in putting that damn shit on nobody's back. That's not cool. It's like, if you're gonna talk smack about somebody, at least tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? Tell some truth. You know what I'm saying? Very true, Mr. Maddie. Do you know how many people that I know were falsely accused of that shit? In fact, I'm going to tell y'all a little story. I know a man, and I'm going to tell y'all this is why, some of us good women have to stand up and protect our men. Um, I have seen this happen with vindictive exes. Okay. I know of a man, not going to say a name, because obviously we have doxers out there, correct? Um, but he was accused, never did it, and the only reason it was found out was because the little girl went around telling people that she lied, that her mom told her to make it all up, and he almost went to prison for this shit. They had to take her in front of the judge to get him out and do a turnkey. But you know what's fucked up about the situation? It still didn't get erased off his fucking record. Ain't that some bullshit? Even if they find out, even if they find out it's some false ass shit, they still won't erase it off your fucking record. Do you know how? Oh, did y'all hear the story? Did y'all hear the story about the woman who almost went to prison because they literally said that see, that right there shows that, yeah. Mr. Maddie, that right there shows it all. Because if he had really done something like that, that little girl would have never been on his show, even if she's a grown girl now. You know what I'm saying? That right there is all somebody got to say. Trust and believe that. But I didn't believe it anyway. Let me tell you something. There's a lot of people that do some fucked up shit. Um, I know of somebody right now that's dealing with that because the ex got pissed off. I know somebody right now that's dealing with that. It ain't true at all. Now, if it was, I would be the first person to condemn a person like that, right? But when you know it's not true, that's not cool to put on somebody's back. Especially if here's the thing, even if you don't believe him, let's say retrospectively, um, let's say retrospectively you don't believe him, you should still believe her, right? And if she came on the live stream and they have a great relationship and said it didn't happen, you got to believe her, even if you don't believe him. You get what I mean? You got to believe the actual person that's supposed to be in the thing. Because, people, they're going to believe what they want to believe because they like you or don't like you for whatever reason, right? But you can't say that the victim in the situation is wrong. You know what I'm saying? You can't discount that. That right there is proof in the pudding, because I'm going to tell you something. If he had actually did something like that, she would hate him for life. Point blank, period. So, yeah. You got to believe the victim when they say nothing happened. You can't believe, even if you don't like him. You know what I'm saying? Because my mother was a victim. You know what I'm saying? So my mother did everything in her power to keep me from ever having that issue in my life. Was she overprotective? Yes. Did I not get to do certain things? Yes. Am I overprotective of my son in a way? Yes. But guess what? My son ain't out on these streets. My son ain't in no gangs. My son ain't in no problems. My son's a good young man and going to grow up into a productive member of society. But yeah, so I'm sorry, but here's the thing: you can't discredit her. I have seen that happen though, Mr. Maddie, multiple times, where vindictive exes do stuff. Hell, how many? There was this one case I just watched. I don't know if y'all seen it. It was on. It was on. You know those where they showed like the police body cams and stuff. There was this woman who lied about this dude kicking down her front door, and the dude is paralyzed. They almost arrested this guy. He has an entire he has been paralyzed since he was 19, so he had been paralyzed for like 20 something 30 years. She literally said this dude kicked down her door, came in, abused her, did all this stuff. Come to find out, the dude's been freaking a paraplegic for like 30 years, 40 years, or a quadriplegic. Only his legs are affected. It's from the waist down for him. I can't remember if it's paraplegic or quadriplegic. I think quadriplegic means all four, and paraplegic means two, if I'm not mistaken, which means, whether it be just your arms or just your legs. But anyway, so he can't kick a door down. There's no possible way he could kick a door down. He's been in a wheelchair for over 20, 30 years. Even the one cop who was trying to tell him, and they didn't want to listen to him, he said, dude, I've known people that are in wheelchairs. He's been in that wheelchair for a long time. You could tell by his muscle weakness and the deterioration of his muscles in his legs. He's been in that wheelchair for a very long time. And the investigator in the case still wanted to lock the dude up. Well, just because you're in a wheelchair don't mean you can't use an implement to do it or something. Come to find out, the girl eventually admitted it was a lie and also has previous charges for lying and making false police reports. Yeah, this dude has one hell of a civil lawsuit because they tried to drag him out of his wheelchair thinking he was faking. Also, I want to put a feeler out there. I'm just going to say this. Um, and I don't care who gets pissed at me. Um, Christine, I want you to hear me. I want you to listen if you're in listeners. If you actually want to do content on true crime, keep doing it. You may or may not have a lot of people in your chat right now, and I know they don't really support what you really want to do on your channel, but it will come, and they will come to your channel eventually, right? People will come because people like true crime. I'm giving you a one up here. Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't give up. People may leave you, that's fine. But know that when some people leave you, other people might join you. And people who like true crime may come start seeing your show. The only advice that I could give to you is be more personable when you're doing your true crime. When you're covering these cases, play them, but also come on screen and go, tell your opinion on what's going on, right? That would be the only, constructive thing that I could say to you. But I believe you can do it. Hey, Brian, LG100 Black Ice. Good morning. I hope you're doing very well and having a good morning. Yeah, I saw that, Mr. MRH. Y'all may not know, I have a huge respect for Parasite Slayer and Mr. Redzilla. And I have a huge respect for you, Mr. MRH and Mr. Maddie. I love the fact, I'm going to say this to y'all, that y'all have morals. Y'all have boundaries. Y'all have old school. You know the old school way? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Not this new generational bullshit. I'm talking about the old school way. The old school, like, morals and foundations. And that even if you like a person, you're going to call them out on their shit. You know what I'm saying? If you know that they're breaking a moral code that you specifically stand on, if they do it, you're going to call them out. Even if y'all make up and y'all are cool after the fact, you're still going to call them out for their shit and tell them they're wrong. And I love that about y'all. I love the fact that y'all are men with morals, like the old school way. Women and children are to be protected. The stand up guys that actually have like the old school values, which are hard to find nowadays. A lot of these young people don't really have them. You know what I'm saying? And I just had to give y'all's flowers. Mr. MRE is the same way. A lot of the gentlemen that I've seen, that I've a lot of them that are in the mob tube sector, specifically near y'all's group, Mr. DJ. A lot of y'all are stand up guys who believe in the old school values. And I love that because I'm an old school traditional woman. You know what I'm saying? And real men, not the ones who pretend to be men, but real men are to be respected because they're doing real things. You know what I'm saying? And I love the fact that y'all stand on y'all's position. Even if it's somebody you like, you're going to call them out on their shit if they're doing something wrong. And I love that. Me, myself, and I, now I believe this, and this is my personal thing. I can't tell anybody on these YouTube streets how to fight, right? I can't tell anybody, if somebody goes low, you shouldn't go lower. They may go lower, right? Especially if it involves, if somebody attacks somebody about their children and somebody comes back, I can't tell them, you know, that's a beef right there, right? There's a difference in attacking someone's children that didn't do a shit thing to you. But I'm talking about if there's two people beefing, they're fighting, one goes after the kids, the other one comes back, so on and so forth, and they go back and forth. That's a different situation, right? But me, myself, and my choices are I do not dox. I do not go after children. I refuse. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Could I do that shit? Yes, the hell I can. Anybody can, right? I can go lower than low. And should I in some sense? Yes. In some sense, no. And I'll explain to you why in a minute. But I don't mess with the dead. the elderly, the innocents, the people that have shit to do with what the hell's going on here on YouTube. I'm not going to call somebody's 88-year-old grandmother 47 times or mama and bother their daddy, their children, their family, their cousins, their people that have nothing to do with the beef that's between you and that person. No, I'm going to keep it on me and that person. And I'm going to talk shit about them. And I expect them to talk shit about me back. Right? Because that's the engagement of war. Right? But I don't believe in putting jacket on people's backs, claiming that they are a child abuser, this, that, and the next thing, claiming that they are a pedo when there's no proof of the situation. Putting all these evil, heinous lies out on a person. If you're gonna roast a person, why not just keep it on them? I have my picture up. Make fun of me. That's called roasting and gagging, right? That's what we call it in the beefing sector. Talk shit about real things I've done or said. You know what I'm saying? Say the truth about me. If you're gonna at least roast me, at least do it truthfully. Almost everything that is said about me so far have been lies. The few things that are truths, I've admitted that they're truths. Yeah, did I grow up rich? Fuck no, I didn't. I grew up in the fucking hood. And that neighborhood you think I grew up in, I didn't grow up in that neighborhood. I grew up somewhere total motherfucking different. For most of my life, I didn't even live in that neighborhood. I grew up in the motherfucking hood. I didn't grow up fucking rich. I was a poor bitch. I admit that shit. I didn't grow up with money. I grew up with fucking learning how to do I'm gonna tell you something. I'm one of the most resilient motherfuckers that make it through anything, and I got survival instincts like a mofo. I'm gonna tell you this: I can take ramen noodles and make them in 50 different ways and make them edible. I can take a little bit of nothing and make into it a hell of a good meal. I didn't grow up with money, and I'm not ashamed of my past, cause baby, my past made me who the hell I am today. I'm not ashamed of a damn thing I went through. I'm not ashamed that I lived in a trailer park as a kid. I'm not ashamed that I've ever lived in a trailer or a house or this or that. I'm not ashamed that I bought my mom and daddy cars. I'm not ashamed of the things of anything. I'm not ashamed of graduating high school, even though you think I'm a dumb hillbilly redneck. I'm not ashamed of going to college and only needed 2 more years to graduate with a bachelor's degree. But guess what? I had to drop out from my son, and I would do it again and again and again and again because that's my child, and I will do anything. I may walk through hellfire for him. That's what you don't understand. So yeah, I dropped out of college, and I did it because I had a responsibility that meant more than me. I had a child that needed me more than anything in this world, who had to have surgeries. So talk all the shit you want. I don't care. I ain't listening to it. That's what you don't know. I went out. I heard some people text me. You know how it goes. Y'all know how the YouTube street goes. And told me you was talking shit. Guess what I did? I didn't see it. And I don't care. I went and I did some shit in town. I went and touched grass. I went and got some food. I took care of my child. I cleaned my house. I did my due diligence and do what I always do every day. And guess what? I went to bed and slept peacefully like a baby. Woke up the next morning and did it all again. That's why I know that another reason that I'm going to tell you this, that Mr. MRH is innocent in that fact. Mr. MRE, sorry, Mr. MRH. You know how y'all's names so like the thingies. But why Mr. MRE is innocent also for that fact, he don't get defensive about it. Somebody who's actually done something wrong and actually is guilty usually gets super defensive. And I mean, like, he's like, no, that never happened. He just explains it and says it in a nonchalant way. Now, I can understand him getting pissed about it keep being said over and over again, because I'd hate to get that jacket put on my back, and I'd be pissed off about it. But I'm talking like a person that's in denial that actually did something, their attitude towards it is very different. Like, it's like You know what I'm trying to say? He said he boxed Mike Tyson and Kimbo Slice, and he knew Conor McGregor. That's some bullshit. We all know that. Because if that's the case, wouldn't have we have heard his name up there in lights? Wouldn't have we heard of his boxing career if he had been up there with the likes of Mike Tyson, Kimbo Slice, and Conor McGregor? Wouldn't we have seen him before? Like, here's the thing, that's easily proven. That's like other people saying they played for such and such NFL team. If you did, your name would have been in lights. Your name would have been on a roster. Your name would have been meaning something. Your boxing card would show something. You know what I'm saying? If you've been up there with the names of Kimbo Slice, Mike Tyson, and Conor McGregor, your names would, even if you had a shitty boxing card, your name would still mean something and people would know who the hell you were, because none of us forget when Mike Tyson bit somebody's ear off and it was Evander Holyfield. None of us forget who the fuck got knocked out by Kimbo Slice, even if they was a decent boxer or a terrible boxer, right? Or Conor McGregor. Like, there's a lot of them, you can remember the names of some of their opponents, right? If it was a really good enough fight, you remember that stuff. Now, I'm not saying you can't pay. Now here's the thing. Some people, Mr. Matty, will pay for those. They have those little, which Mike, I don't think he's ever done those. But they do those little camps when they're kids. So they might have did a camp when they were a little bitty kid and then claimed, something that's not true. I know, right, Mr. Matty? It really is a shame that people can't just be good people. It truly is a shame that you just can't be a good person. And here's the thing. There's so much content that you can make on YouTube, right? I make content. I know Mr. Rat Trap does his content, and a lot of us do our content, right? There's so much to talk about that's happening in this world. Why do you have to go around slandering people? Why do you have to go around doing this evil shit? Yeah, no, I bet he ain't got no. If he was a millionaire, he wouldn't be on here. Point blank, period. You ain't seeing no millionaire or billionaire unless they have one hell of a good channel. And I mean, they worked it from the ground up and that's how they become a millionaire or something and they invested correctly. You ain't seeing no millionaire on here, down here with us little folks. You want to know why? They out making more money. They out investing their money. They out doing things because they can't sit still. Tell me, ain't none of us down here in the little people millionaires or billionaires? Ain't none of us. You know what I'm saying? We working our jobs, we doing our things, we living our lives, right? We surviving, and however you want to say it. Some may be doing better than others. Some may be, or whatnot. But why would a millionaire be down here in this drama knowing they can get sued for slander and defamation? The reason a lot of people don't take slander and defamation to court is because the other person don't have a pot to piss in. So you ain't going to get shit. But if you know somebody was a millionaire, right? You knew they were a millionaire. You tell me how many lawsuits they'd have done got. Tell me how many lawsuits people be done filed if you find out they were a millionaire or a billionaire. Shit. There'd be lawsuits left and right. There'd be people coming out the woodwork that didn't even say nothing about. They'd be claiming it's them. That's what I say about it, Mr. Batty. I'd be like, cha-ching, cha-ching. I'm getting my money. Let me get my money. Most of all of us are either middle class, middle to lower class. Some of us might be doing a little bit better and be semi-high class, but not no millionaire, no billionaire. Because you ain't going to be down here talking shit if you got that kind of money. Because there's ways you can lose that money, and you don't want no lawsuits if you that big and bad and you got all that money. Mm-mm. Yeah, you ain't gonna be no fool. You know what I'm saying? First off, millionaires and billionaires ain't even gonna be on or have time to be on YouTube. They're out there still making that money doing investments, riding on boats and living their best life. They gonna be watching. Now they may do some normal things like me and you do. They may go to the grocery store and all this other stuff. Hey, Very Carey love. Now, if y'all don't know, Very Carey is an amazing content creator, and she's gonna get back to doing her karaoke, Very Carey karaoke, and it's fun. Because here's the thing: you ain't got to be the best singer in the world. Now, Very Carey herself can sing, but some of our people, they'll tell you, and it's a loving chat. It's not a hateful chat. She good people. If y'all ain't know, she real good people. I love having good conversations with her. Yesterday, you finally gonna do it, girl. You know I love your karaoke nights. I love being White Whitney. And I forgot what we gave everybody else they nicknames. Shit. We had nicknames at one time, but it's been a minute since we figured out whose nickname was what. I think we called Hypnotic Touch Touch. I think she was our Baker, Anita Baker. We called her our Anita Baker. And then I'm trying to remember what we called Hazel Diane. Not Hazel Diane, but damn it. Why I got so many names running through my head right now. I hate when that happens. Oh my god, her face is like right there, but her name is not coming to mind. Um Dang it. I don't know why it's doing that. It happens sometimes. But I want to know, how was y'all's weekend this weekend? Did y'all do anything? Uh, we've had Jackie over there. We had TC, but I'm thinking of damn it, why? I hate when that happens. It'll come back to me in a minute, probably about 30 minutes after I end the show, Very Curious, and then I'll be going over to your community wall or something, going blah blah. That's what I meant. Or I'll see you in the next thing. All of a sudden, I reach out. But we just have so much fun over there. Um, Anybody have any cool things they do this weekend? Did you go out on a boat? Did you chill? Did you go to the grocery store? Did you cook a good steak this weekend? And who made cake? Now I don't know if the hood table's in the clouds right now because I know she's busy some mornings, she's working. I want to say a happy birthday to her grandbaby and congratulations to the graduate. I cannot believe that baby is 4 years old already. I remember when he was being born. It ain't even right. It ain't even right. I remember when he was turning a year old, and then 2 year old. Now he 4. Um, so congrats on the baby. Happy birthday to him. Let me go ahead and do y'all know I do a traditional thing. If you tell me it's your birthday, or I find out it's your birthday, and I'm on stream and can touch a link, I always do a thing. I do a happy birthday song. So I'm gonna sing a happy birthday song to little Mr. Ace. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ace. Happy birthday to you. I had to do that right quick, so if the hood table sees this as a replay. Hey, Gamecock Jenny, I had so much fun at your stream the other day. We was watching the hummingbirds and listening to the traffic sisters. That your neighborhood kind of reminds me of my old neighborhood. The neighborhood that I live in now is more like they ain't before people on the entire road. So it's real small, and we don't have a lot of crime or nothing like that because of that. And we live on a dead end road. But my old neighborhood that I used to live in, way, way back in the day, um, it was kind of like that. Well, it wasn't way, way back in the day. It was a few years ago, but yeah, it used to be like that. I've lived in a couple neighborhoods like that. Like I've lived in the hood, I've lived in the country, I've lived in the trailer park, I lived in the ghetto, I've lived like all over the damn place. Like, so I grew up in a little bit of mixture of everything that you can think of. I've lived on the bad side of town, I've lived on the good side of town. Everybody knows, no matter where you live, there's always a bad side of town that you don't go to after 2 o'clock in the morning or after 10 o'clock at night. You be careful over in that area. I've lived in that area. You know what I'm saying? But y'all know what I'm talking about. Every town has it. I don't care where you live and where you're from. Also, anybody in down south for the next 2 to 3 days, I'm gonna keep prayers on you because we having a tornado outbreak again, y'all. We having a tornado outbreak, and prayer for you with all them storms coming through. That everybody's safe, everybody's good. You know what I'm saying? We having another storm system coming through that's looking pretty, significant. So praying for Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, the Midwest. Pretty much, from Tornado Alley all the way over to Georgia. You know what I'm saying? All the way across the board there. We have that problem every year. The South and Tornado Alley. Tornado Alley is technically it's shifting, but if you look at the storm patterns, it is shifting a little bit. They've even been talking about it on the weather channels and different stuff. But we've had some pretty rough storms today, yesterday, tomorrow. We're supposed to have a hailstorm. And it's going to come in the afternoon. Tomorrow, my son has his appointment with the specialist, so I'm freaking about that. A lot of people who haven't been necessarily coming to my show every day, a lot of people may have missed that I've stated that, my son's having to go to a liver specialist or whatnot. But, that's why I ask people to say a little prayer, because prayer works. I'm going to tell you something. Prayer works. I believe in the word of God, and I'm covered in the blood of Jesus, and ain't nothing that nobody could do to me that I'm not protected by God. Because you can't disrupt my peace because of that too. God has the last say in everything. He always does. But I'm going to say this. Has anybody have any plans for this week? To do anything cool or have anything, planned? Now, my my plan for today is I got to do a little bit of cleaning, which I've always doing a little bit of cleaning, but it's like, okay, I'm going to give y'all a cleaning like help, especially if you work all the time. So make a chart, right? Do your heavy cleaning things that like your big loads of laundry and putting it all away, and like dusting or stuff like that, like the heavier dutier things, like if you got to do some carpet cleaning, do that on your day off, like a Saturday or a Sunday, right? And through the week, do straightening up, picking up stuff, all that other stuff, right? Vacuuming. You can do, depending on how much traffic your house has, depends on how many kids you have, and it also depends on how many people live in your home. You can do vacuuming twice a week. But what I tend to do is, dishes are every day, pretty much. Now, if you live alone and it's only you could do dishes every 2 to 3 days when you feel your, whenever your, dishwasher gets full, right? But it just depends on the situation of those little instances. But let's say you have a big family, right? Be careful at the gym. Love you. Hey, Miss Catherine. And let's say you want to do things and keep it up. If you do a little bit every single day, then it won't pile up on you come the weekend if you're working every day. And I know you're tired when you get home. I get that. Take a moment, refresh your brain, tackle a few little things before you go to bed, and a few things before you go to work in the morning, and it'll make it so much easier than putting it off. Sometimes people like myself with ADHD, we're procrastinators like hell. We have procrastination problems. So the best thing that you can do is structure yourself and do like vacuuming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, mopping, or Tuesday and Wednesday. Do mopping Monday, Wednesday, Friday, something like that. um, spot cleaning or uh, laundry Saturday and Sunday, and just like dishes are every day. There's certain things for cleaning that's every day. It don't go away. Sweeping every day. Mopping sometimes can be every 2 to 3 days. It also depends on if you have animals and shit too. Um, but you can lighten your load by like making a chart, so you don't push yourself to try to do everything at once, right? But making a chart works, and you can set aside time for yourself. Please don't forget to take care of yourself and your mental health. That is very important, taking care of your physical and your mental health. Don't overwork yourself and overdo yourself and overextend yourself, because you got to take care of you. Nobody's going to take care of you like you do. But as I was saying, did anybody get any good church services in this weekend? Did anybody have any fun this week? I know that a lot of people. Friday we did a show, and it is on private for a reason, to where we showed baby pictures and puppy pictures, and just shared with each other, right? And we made fun of each other's baby pictures, and got to see some beautiful grandbabies and children, and got to see some amazing puppy dogs, right? Beautiful puppy dogs. I think we should do pet of the week. I'm just deciding on whether I want to do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? Uh, Pet of the week, maybe on Topic Tuesday. Tuesday's pet of the week, to where we get to show off cute pictures or new pictures that we've taken of our animals that we think is the most adorable picture, right? And I'll put my email up, and we'll do like that cutesy thing where we show off the cute animals and whatnot, and just brag on our animals, because I love having conversations about animals. I love animals. I think they're better than all human beings. They don't do any wrong. They don't hurt people. Animals are innocent cherubs. Miss Catherine, if you're still here, what was that thing that you were trying to tell me about for livers to make them better that you've been trying to get me to take? I know I got some milk thistle. Was that it? Or was it something else? You were trying to tell me about something, and I forgot the name of it because of my ADHD. You know how my ADHD is. Also, I forgot to do it, but here's your med check reminder. Please take your medications, your blood pressure medications, any medications you have to take for your health. Please do so. Don't forget your medications, your morning medications, please. Speaking of which, I got to find my blood pressure pill. Oh, there it is. Found it. It's called Dose. Okay. I'm gonna get some of that, Miss Catherine. Dose. I'm gonna make sure I remember looking it up once. And it was still where I had looked it up. Um, it's got turmeric, milk thistle, now dandelion and ginger. But the thing about turmeric, too much turmeric can actually cause your liver to go bad. I don't know if you know that. I actually had to look that up. If it's only got a little bit, it won't hurt, but you can absolutely have a problem from that. I had to look it up. But let me look what all of is in it, and what let me see what. Okay, it's got, let's see how much of each one. Non-GMO and Vigo, boasts gluten-free, zero sugar formulation, USD order, non-returnable due to food safety, limited availability in some regions, requires consistent use for noticeable effects. Some users report no significant change, high price point. Um, mm, mm, mm. Yeah, it just depends on how. Now, I did take ginger and milk. I do have milk thistle. So I do have milk thistle, Miss Catherine, because a lot of people have told me about milk thistle. And I actually drink a juice that is black cherry. Hey, K fam, baby, I have missed you. Don't you ever do that to me again. You ever disappear like that again, I swear to God. I swear to God, we gonna fight. I've been missing you and worried about you. Don't you do that to me no more. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to get your ass a little bit. Because I was missing singing Baby Shark, do 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 do, Baby Shark, do 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 do, Baby Shark. You don't do that to me no more. You scared me. Also, I want to put this out there, twin mama. If you happen to see this, boo, or somebody clips this and sends it to you, just know that we miss you and love you. And a lot of us are not in, you know, the situation with anybody who's fighting right now. And we do care about you, and we care about those children, and we love hearing your point of view on things. I just want you to know that. Don't let nobody, if you're doing what's best for you and your family, by all means, real life always comes first. But don't let nobody ever make you feel like you got to leave. Okay? Don't ever do that. Oh, okay. So you've been out, you just been super busy out chasing 4 days a week and stuff. Okay. I was telling folks that the storms coming through fits to be pretty bad. Tomorrow we're supposed to have a hailstorm and possible tornadoes ourselves. It's supposed to be pretty bad over here in the SIP. Tomorrow, after I think 3 or 4 o'clock, it's supposed to be pretty rough. Okay, so Instacart has those for $25.99 while the company sells it for $90. Okay. I'll remember if I'm going to get it to try to get it from Instacart. Thank you, Miss Catherine. I do have a lot of that stuff though that's in it already in pill form. Like I have the ginger root, I have the milk thistle. We eat oranges, which I also get this thing sometimes called Vita C, which is like boosted, vitamin C, which is made with oranges and different stuff. The only thing that I don't have would be the dandelion. And I do have turmeric capsules. I just only take them every once in a while. Right? So I don't take them all the time because too much turmeric can be bad for your liver. So I only take it every once in a while. The only thing I don't have is the dandelion, which I'm pretty sure I could probably get. So I mean, I'm pretty much taking the dose stuff, Miss Catherine, but I'm taking them in their own capsules, if that makes sense. Oh, you gotta be careful out there, baby shark. Those ain't nothing to play with. I know you're a shark and all, but you gotta be careful with them tornadoes. Them tornadoes ain't playing. Play. You know what I'm saying? They ain't for play. You gotta be careful. Cause I don't know if you seen the documentary for the tornado that hit Joplin, Missouri, about those storm chasers who got caught in the middle of it? Did you see that one? Where those three, they thought they were going to pass away and they actually lived through it, and all that stuff. You got to be real careful. We don't want our baby shark to go nowhere, okay? So you got to be careful. Please promise me you're going to be more careful, because that ain't no joke. That ain't no joke for real. And make sure that I will say this right here, in the one in Paducah, Kentucky. I will say this to all those who, let's say you are going out chasing storms, or let's say that you yourself are in the path of a tornado. If you're looking, let's say you're looking directly at one, and it's a good distance away from you. If it looks like the tornado is not moving, it's coming directly for you, right? Because if you're in the direct path, a tornado will look like it is not moving. No, it is moving directly towards you. Yet vice versa. If you're to the left or the right, always pay attention. Sometimes they will shift paths. Sometimes it'll look like they're going to the left and they go to the right. We had one that made us have to get out of our home and go to a shelter because it looked like it was going to pass above us. And then over time, it started shifting lower and lower and lower until it looked like it was going to shift directly over our house. Sometimes you can miscalculate, KFAM. Hey, Jessica Lynn, good morning. And good morning to all my bushwatchers. I know some of y'all is busy right now. I just want to thank you for being here. And thank you if you're a hater and you're watching me because you're still giving me a click and a view. So thank you. You're adding to my algorithm. Thank you so very much. If you could so positively press the thumbs up, even if you press the thumbs down, that's also cool because it's still engagement. So thank you for all your engagement. Yeah, K fam, we had a problem. They kept setting off our alarms uh one day, and I was like, this is gonna turn into another Smithville situation, Smithville, Mississippi, right? The reason so many people passed away in that Smithville storm was because the sirens were messed up and kept going off, kept going off, kept going off. So people ignored the sirens because they thought it was just, again, it had been going off all day. So they didn't listen that time. And it really was the real thing. And it's sad because there's places, KFAM, that, we don't even have sirens in certain places. We live too far away from a city limits to even hear them. At my old house, we couldn't hear the sirens at all. There were none in our area. None at all. There are places out in like places in Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, where they don't even have sirens that they can hear. KFAM. Yeah, can in this day and age in 2025, there are still places without sirens because they live too far out and the sirens, they can't hear them. They only have the sirens within city limits and a little bit on the outside, and you're lucky if you can hear them. So a lot of people down here, we watch our local news and things like that, and we'll have, those radios you can wind just in case your power go out. We a lot of us have, like I myself have a generator in case my lights go out that I can plug up like stuff to, and I can hear if something's coming my way, right? So I have a generator, right? I also like to keep those battery packs for your phone. Charge those up before storms. They can last for a few hours. Get a few of them. Don't just get one or two, get a few. Well, when y'all get that documentary going, I want to know about it. I want to share it. I want to, put it out there. Let me know about it, okay? So I can support it. These storms are starting to become way more dangerous, KFAM, than they have over the last few years. The last few years, our storms have been way more dangerous than they have since my entire lifetime. I have lived in the South for 37 years, almost 38, right? And over the last 5 years, I would say that these storm systems that have been coming through and the tornadoes that have been hitting are a lot more dangerous than they have ever been in my entire life. Like when I was a kid, I can name maybe two or three tornadoes that we had that were pretty bad. Now, most of these tornadoes since 2011, 2010 area, from then to now, have been extremely volatile, extremely violent. The It's been a lot hotter here in North Mississippi than it has ever been. It's almost like our seasons are changing. We're barely getting winter now, and we used to get winter, contrary to popular belief. Now, down south may be a little bit different, South Mississippi, but up here, we'd get snowstorms and things like that. And I've been seeing, like, year before last, we didn't have a winter at all. No winter. This year we had a little bit. So it's like, no, 3 winters ago that we didn't have no winter at all. No cold at all. Nothing. That year we had the worst summer on record. Now last year Year before last, we had a pretty good snowstorm, pretty ice storms, quite a bit of winter. This year, it was, hey, Mr. Fumble, how you doing? How was your weekend? How's the family? How Miss Amby doing? Tell Miss Amby we love her. And I really enjoy y'all together when y'all are like bouncing off each other. It's awesome. And some people said that the name that they like is called Famby for y'all. Anyway, so the storms have been a lot more crazy. So if you're out traveling or you're working or whatever, be safe this week because the storm systems that are coming through are supposed to be pretty rough. So be safe, please, all of you. I care about every one of you, and I don't want to see nobody hurt. You know how I am. Very big heart. I want to make sure everybody's a-okay. You know what I mean? Yeah, I've heard K fam, is it just me? Yeah, don't take them as a joke. Please don't. Be safe. You're trying to get her to beef with you? Oh my god, Mr. Maddie, you got stalkers? Who's stalking you, child? Who's stalking you? I got stalkers too, child. They be stalking me. Every time you turn around, be trying to start fights with me, trying to goad me into fights, and I'm just ignoring them. Screw them. But is it just me or is like Arkansas, Tennessee, a little bit side of Mississippi, and like up that line is now becoming Tornado Alley versus where it used to be a little shifted to the left, right? It seems like it's shifting like towards Missouri and up that line, if that makes sense. Like Missouri and all that is getting more worse storms than I've seen in Tornado Alley these years. Hey, Mr. Buster. It's like Tornado Alley is shifting a little to the right. Like if you're looking directly at the United States map, you know what I'm saying? It's shifting more eastwardly than it used to be. And the worser storms are happening up that line from Louisiana and Mississippi all the way up. Like it's following the Mississippi River, right? And you know how the Mississippi River goes. No, I haven't heard of that person. About the old wet brain inbred guy from Arkansas that called himself Chicago Muscle and said he had a purple heart and said he held dying Marines in arms. And here's the thing: I hate stolen valor. I hate stolen valor with a passion. I hate it. Oh, he's your number one stalker, Chicago Muscle. I hate stolen valor with a passion. Well, Mr. Fumble, if they were nice enough to give me cake, it would be different. If in case, yes, if they were never a Marine or didn't have a purple heart, and let's just say they were only in basic training, like they went to training, but they didn't actually go to war and have a purple heart, and they never, I would consider if you're lying about it, also stolen valor. Because he was never in, so yeah, that's stolen valor 100%. But let's say even because I got a friend who went through basic and got all the way up to being like I think it's called a F4 or P4 or something. I'm not in the military, never been in the military. I admit it. I couldn't pass a physical because of a wreck I had when I was 15 years old on a bus. I was an innocent kid. That happened to me, not by choice. Um, and so I wanted to be a Marine. I wanted to do those things, but I would never claim to be it. It does me too. Stolen valor makes me feel punchy. It makes my blood boil because there are actual veterans out there who now have PTSD and go through so much. Like, I got a friend who had to look down a scope at a child. A child. Do you know how much that bothered his mental health? Do you know what I'm saying? I had a friend who a child came up to him and had bombs strapped to their fucking chest. Pregnant women. That shit pisses me off. I have friends who have mental health conditions because of that shit. I got friends who have physical conditions because of car bombs and shit. You know what I'm saying? Who were actually in the war and actually highly decorated. And I get pissed off when people do that shit. I hate that shit, Mr. Matty. I cannot stand when people steal stolen valor. I cannot stand that shit because there's so many of our veterans that come back, with so many health conditions and different things, and they actually went through it. And I had now a friend of mine will tell you, he won't steal the valor. He'll tell you, yes, I was in the military, but I wasn't active duty, right? I have a cousin who was in the reserves. She never went active duty. And then I have another that actually was active duty but didn't see wartime. So they'll tell you, yeah, I'm a veteran by name, but I don't feel like one because I didn't see actual war. You know what I'm trying to say? But I think they're still a veteran and they're all right. There wasn't a war happening when they were in. That happens, but they don't claim that they did this, that, and the next thing. You know what I'm saying? They tell the truth about it. I do too, Mr. Fumble. In fact, my grandfather was a veteran. My great uncle was a decorated veteran. My grandfather fought in the Korean War. My great uncle fought in World War II and the Korean War. And then I have another uncle on the other side of my family, he's a great uncle, who was in the World War II. I have one that was in Vietnam. Um, the obviously the ones that were in World War II are have since way been passed. They're way older than I am. And one of my uncles is so highly decorated. They actually did. There's this dude who goes around and cleans. My grandfather has a military headstone. They did the 12 gun salute and folded the flag at his funeral. And I'm gonna tell you something. When you hear that 12 gun salute for the very first time, you gonna cry like a little bitch. I'm just gonna tell you that 12 gun salute being so silent, and all you hear is those, and the way they play the trumpet and all that, it will make tears come to your eyes. I'm gonna watch those, Mr. Matty. You know I am. I love your channel. Speaking of which, let me go over here, and that way people who are not subscribed and want to see that can support your channel. Um, I myself never was a veteran, would never claim to be a veteran, and I'm never going to claim that because it's not my story. But I do have, that in my family. A lot of people in my family were veterans. Um, so it really does upset me when people steal their valor. My great uncle had flashbacks and shit. He had PTSD really bad when he came back from the war. Like really bad. One of them was in the army. My grandfather himself was he was a Navy man. He worked on the boats. He would tell you about like the little U-boats they used to have during the Korean War, about how fast those little fuckers were. And like, yeah. So he was in the Korean. He was a Navy man, and then we had the Army, and we had a uh. I know I didn't see it all. I know that Queen 88 won the dance challenge over there at Mrs. Intel's or the Miss O's. I don't know who hosted it, but I know that Queen 88. And then I heard something about that Lemon's going to be doing another challenge. Is he still doing a dance challenge too? Or oh, I can't wait, Mr. Batty. I gotta watch those. They're on your community wall. Are I'm gonna have to. Oh, fair warning. Mr. Matty said that on his community wall he has the MobTube novella presents part one, the hero, and part two, the hero. He just shared both of them on his community. He said, now they may make you sick at your stomach when you watch them. So that is a fair warning to anybody who watches those. I would play them, but I don't. Do they belong to you, Mr. Matty, or someone else? I don't want to play somebody's content without permission. I don't do stuff. Now I will tell y'all that I'm going to watch those, and I'm going to share the links in chat right quick for the person to get their views. This is part one, and then I'll share part two out. Paste. This is part one. Now here's the thing: how's he gonna send out all that money? You know, Cash App has a has a limit that you can send per day. They have a limit that you can send per day. He gonna have to send one person's one day, one person's the next day, and one person the next day. Oh, I won't get struck. Okay, so let me grab both of these on different um things, and I'm going to, but I am going to still share out so that MobTube Novella can also get views for those who might want to rewatch later, or those who are catching my replay. This is part two. I'm gonna put, because I want to give them their you know, their credit where credit is due. They did all the hard work. You know what I mean? So I want to give them their credit. I don't like not giving credit. So I'm going to put up my copyright disclaimer right quick, and I am going to share out also MobTube Novella's channel, because I like to do that. If I do happen to use anybody's content, I like to spread the wealth and give them, you know, this channel seems to have a lot of good information on it here. Um, so I'm going to share out their channel right quick so that you know, I like to give credit to people who did their due diligence. So this is MobTube Novella's channel, and I'm going to play these. It may or may not make you pissed off when you see this. Let me put up my content disclaimer right quick, because y'all know I like to do my copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer: under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringement. Yes, please. Cane Shades. Okay, hold on. Let me get Cane Shades channel right quick. Cane Shades. Let me get Cane Shades channel right quick. Oh wait, there's somebody else popping up. Let's see. Is it Cane Shades Media or Cane Shades 2.0, or I'm trying to make sure I get the right. All right, let me tell you what, Mr. Matty. I'm gonna make you a moderator if that's okay. Is it okay by you? So that you can drop those channel links. Is it okay if I add you as a moderator? I want to ask first. I don't just like, you know, add people without their you know, I want to ask you if it's okay. Cane Shades UNK. Okay, Cane Shades UNK. I got him. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna share that. Okay, here we go. Okay. Share channel. I got that. Let's Kane Shades UNK. We are posting that link right now. Please subscribe to this channel. You're going to learn a lot of information from said channel. I'm already subscribed to that channel. Yeah, I was subscribed to that one. In fact, I got subscribed to the 2.0. I think that's the backup channel. So I'm going to also drop the backup channel just in case they ever try to strike the main channel. You know how they be doing. Just in case. You never know. He might have to end up using this channel again. You know how they do sometimes. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and make you a mod so that you can drop some, people's links that I may or may not be subscribed to, um, and whatnot. That way that share. You know how I do. I share. I share out the wealth. Share the wealth. We got to share the wealth, and there's more than enough. Well, Buster, you could be a mod too if you want to be. You look handsome in blue. You really do. I just gave you your blue suit. You got your blue suit. Now I'm fixing to share out any channels you want to drop, Mr. Matty. You are more than welcome to drop any channels that you want to right now. I'm going to go ahead and share screen and present. Share screen. Hero Part 1. Okay. And then we'll watch Hero Part 2. So we're going to watch Part 1 first, and then we'll watch Part 2. Okay. And let me go ahead and make this full screen so y'all can see, and make myself little down here in the corner right there. It says, keep in mind, nothing is altered. Hey, damn it, Mandy. All the words said from Mr. Stolen Valor is him. Only thing edited is the music, etc.
You would be fucking shocked. When I was a kid, I'll tell you a story. When I was a kid, I was asked to hook up. They wanted me because I was a big fucking guy. I could fight. They knew it. I was fucking mean. But I was more, at the time, my father was an angel. I hadn't fucking gotten, I was basically brought up around that. And they were wanting me to join the Disciples. There was a set called the White Gangster Disciples that was starting out in the suburbs of Chicago. And they were wanting me to run it. And I told them, I said, no, I can't. And they said, well, they at least wanted me to ride out with them when they would fight. So they wanted to fucking tell everybody that they violated me and brought me in anyway. My father was a POW. He was tortured for 19 months in a prison camp. I've told the story. But again, that's what we sign up for. We know things can get crazy over there, but somebody's got to do it. And you've got to remember something, just like motorcycle clubs. Do you know that 1% of the population actually serves? Crazy, isn't it? Yeah, it's crazy. But 1% of the population serves. And my great-grandfather was a Marine. My grandfather was a Marine. My father was a Marine. My brother was a Marine. I was a Marine. And I'll leave it at that because I might have somebody still active. And it was fucking amazing, dude. We're fucking goddamn shit blowing all over the place. Walruses running up the road. Fucking goddamn seals fucking in the backyard bathtubs or the fucking pools. And Jesus, dude. And my wife showed me one from the other day. And the motherfucking shark is going down the goddamn street. And we got a dumbass that came in with a fake Chicago muscle. You do realize that even fucking your IP can be grabbed through your fake ass fucking VPN, right? You do understand it, right?
I had to pause that for a minute because I also had to say hey to Mr. Rubin and have a good day, K fam. It's okay, love. You're busy. Hey, Mr. Jim, the only Jim, the best Jim, and good morning, everybody. So first off, first lie he told that I heard, besides the Marine thing, was also white gangster disciples. When he says the GD, he's talking about gangster disciples. He would get his ass kicked for claiming that shit. Have a good day, Miss Catherine. He would get his ass kicked. First off, yes, white boys can be in gangster disciples. I know a few of them. There's only one gang that does not allow white dudes. Do you know what that one gang is? Bloods. Bloods don't allow white people. Okay? If you want to be associated with the Blood gang, you have to join the Latin Kings or another offshoot of Bloods. White boys can't be Bloods. So if they ever try to claim that, that's bullshit. I know about Bloods. First off. Second off, does he know how much change? I'm gonna tell you something. In the gang world, ask him how much change is in his pocket. That's one thing. Hey, Miss Crystal Ann, good morning. Also, there's a lot of ways that you can call him on this shit. Does he know his literature? Because it never happened. He don't know the literature. Trust me, I know, because I know people who are associated. I was never in a gang, never claimed to be in a gang, but I know a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? I know people who were in the biker world. And I'm going to tell you this, we had a lot of bikers down here because they go down to Sardis to the bike rally, right? I had uncles who were bikers. Yes, they wanted my father to be in the bikers because my dad is 6'5" and is like a huge motherfucker, but my dad didn't do it. Okay, I'll make sure I turn up the volume on that. I'm so sorry. You want me to rewind it? Could y'all hear basically what was said so far, or should I rewind it and play it from the beginning again? I'm so super sorry about that. I didn't realize it was so low. Yeah, I'm gonna say this. He is totally lying. He's totally lying about the gangster disciples. And I'm gonna tell you this: they would kick his ass on principle if they heard him claim their set, and he was never a part of it. Can he tell us who his OGs were? I bet he can't. Yeah, that's why I was asking chat right quick. Did y'all hear everything? And everything. If y'all heard it, we'll just continue from where we're at. Or whatnot. But if you missed something, please let me know. This dude, so far, what you've heard, he claimed to be a gangster disciple. He claimed to be in the Marines, and his family is very connected. He claimed to, boy, I hate people who do this stuff that claim they're this super Billy Joe badass and really weren't. This kind of guy. I don't even know this man. Is the kind that lies about this stuff because he knows he'd get his ass kicked on the streets. They try to lie about stuff like this because really they're not this type. They can't hang with real men. Like when I say real men, I mean real men that'll knock your damn teeth out. And they're usually punk bitches. I'm sorry, it's the truth. Well, I don't hear anybody say anything, so I'm gonna press play from here. I know what minute mark I'm at. We're only 1 minute in, so.
Just because you have a VPN on does not mean the cops can't fucking get through that VPN.
Also, that's bullshit. They can't get through a VPN. So yeah. Yeah, I bet you don't know what banging on somebody is or what a set is. What's your set? I bet you 100 he can't scream his set. I bet you he don't even know what colors that set flies. What's his colors? I bet he don't even know his own colors. I bet he don't even know his colors. I bet you he can't tell you what set he from. Because here's the thing, there's different sets of gangster disciples. Where did your set come from? Like, can you tell me? You know, I ain't gonna give out too much, but yup, what side pocket you flying your flag from? I bet he can't tell you that neither. Can't tell you none of the literature. Can't tell you how much change is in his pocket. Nothing.
Can I ask you a question? Why would somebody tell a woman, I have your picture and I have your IP? You know what I mean?
Well, that was the first for me, actually. I didn't know how to react to that. It was weird. I don't know what he meant by it. Is it a threat?
That was a
threat. That was a threat.
Right. So that means I shouldn't be coming here, basically.
Well, no, because we don't care about your IP or your picture. You can come here anytime. You're no danger from us at all. I don't want to, hurt anybody in real life or anything. Well, no, it would have been the 80s, because in 86 I would have been 16.
Okay.
Okay, so and it would have been I would have been like 15. Yeah. I would have been like 15 years old.
Do I think I got a little bit of knowledge about what's going on there? Or fucking goddamn Charlie Salton fucking while you're fucking at it trying to fucking really hammer down the point. He's going to kill someone. Oh, good Lord. Okay, well, I think that everybody has enough proof now to know that Johnny Mack, and the reason he says all the horrible things about Chicago Muscle is because Chicago Muscle exposed you, motherfucker.
They have a moderator here that they've convinced over there that I'm a racist. And I actually have, well, he's not a child anymore. I raised a black, he's a Marine. I raised a black Marine, the biggest black Marine you ever seen in your fucking life. Now, you talk about a monster, okay? And or a wetback. Wetback's not a fucking racist.
Wait a minute. Did he just say that wasn't a racist terminology? Wait a damn minute. Yes, the hell it is. Ask my half Mexican sister if that's not and she's my real sister, my blood sister, if that's not a freaking racist terminology. Yes, the hell it is. Damn. Why people not know what racism is? How can they be so dumb not to? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is pissing me off.
Thing, is it? I mean, when they fucking swam over here from Cuba, didn't they get a wetback? I don't know about you guys, but when I go swimming, I get a wetback. You'd see me in the fucking street and I'd fuck you in your ass, you fucking bitch. Okay, I will not do it. I don't. If you ask me a question, I don't really want to talk about people buying their back. So all the PMs and shit, just cancel that shit. I'm gonna tell you right now. This is what I've got to say, and I'm gonna fucking leave it alone and drop it forever. Everyone who's here and everyone who knows me knows how fucking loyal I have been to certain parties around here.
Did find out through all of this who I can fucking trust. The number keeps getting smaller, but the team will continue to get stronger. Never forget that. Team Muscle, have faith. Don't despair. I'm still here.
Enemies. After all the fucking good I've done, you would be fucking shocked.
How do y'all not cuss him out on a daily basis? I would totally be cussing like every damn day. Like that stuff would piss me off. First off, that is a racist terminology. Everybody knows that. Secondly, half the shit you said you could tell was lies. Come on now. There's no way you had enough time to be in the gangster cycle and be a Marine and be in the damn biker club. Ain't no way. You didn't have time to do all three. Because first off, they would have caught you with any kind of gang affiliation when you tried to join the army. That shit would have been cut off right away, and or you would be not able to join. Secondly, yes, I do know a lot of veterans that are bikers. Vice versa, I will say that. But sweet baby Jesus. So he thought he was this big bad dude, and then he was doxxed. That's why he's saying Team Muscle don't despair. Yeah, I'll say this. My dad's a big guy, but he's not a slow guy when he fights. I've seen my dad knock somebody out with one punch. I'm gonna tell you something. My dad don't like to fight. My dad is a big dude, and the reason he don't like to fight is because he is scared of what he will do. He don't like hurting people. That's not his jush. He don't want to do that. Like most big dudes who actually can fight are the biggest teddy bears. You know what I'm saying? That you will ever meet in your life. They don't really like to do that stuff. Real fighters don't like to fight. It's not that we're scared or anything like that. It's just, we don't like doing it. It's not fun. You know what I'm saying? We just want to chill. Ask anybody who can really fight. They really don't want to, not because they're scared, it's because they just don't want to. Yeah, when you lie and liar and you got diabetes and people catch you in the diabetes, people won't like you anymore. You know what I'm saying? You got to be straight up honest and be yourself and be unapologetically you. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep it real, 100. Man, this dude don't know his shit in a hole in ground when it comes to the GDs. They would beat his ass on principle if he walked down that street and tried to claim that set, and he ain't never been a part of that set. I'm gonna tell you this right now, and I have grew up with gangs. Never grew up. I grew up like having a few uncles that were bikers, and they did try to get my dad to join or whatnot, but he chose not to. My house was considered what they call no man's land, and if you know anything about biker culture, you know what no man's land means. My dad used to fix their CB radios. My dad, Citizen Band radios. That's why my dad was like highly respected and loved and all this other shit. It's because he used to fix their CBs. They used to use CBs back in the day before cell phones were a thing to be able to contact each other if they got split up for some reason or another, or somebody had to stop to get gas, or the brother was trying to meet up with another. They used to use CB radios back in the day. Way back in the day, Citizen Band radios. I don't know if they still do, but they used to back in the day. And my dad used to work on them, and we used to have like different sets come to our house, but they knew that they couldn't. Our house was considered no man's land, which means no fighting on no man's land. They're not allowed to do that to each other or whatnot. But they did try to get my dad to join in. They wanted him to open a business. They were going to back him and open a business to basically work on the CBs. And one of them really wanted my dad as an enforcer because my dad's big, bulky, fast, looked like Bigfoot. Not big and fat, big and cornbread fed motherfucker. But anyway, we didn't have a lot of Hell's Angels down here per se. We had more, I think it was, what was their name? Damn it. I know their name. Oh God. They're the ones that the Hell's Angels used to fight with. What in the world was his name? Their name. The Pagans. We had a lot of pagans down here. But I'm gonna play this other one right quick.
Duties. I can serve in Chicago muscle involved. The answer will most likely be yes. The fucking place is out of control. The FBI is watching. And this bullshit is time to fucking put an end to it. And I think I can be most effective by taking getting off here.
That dude, the FBI is watching, really? No, the FBI ain't got time for your little bullshit. Hey, Lady Red, good morning. I'm actually going through, do you know, Maddie, if he's in Miss Josie's books? Because I'm sitting here looking at her books, and I was trying to find his passage so I could read it. So I'm I'm scrolling right here, trying to find his page. Oh, he might be under the name Harry Weasel. Okay, because I'm trying to find his passage so we can read it to the people. That way, I can read it to the people. I'm gonna see. That's the only thing I told Miss Miss Josie, that would be a good thing is to have like a thing in the back of the book that told you which page was who and who. So I'm looking for that to see if he's in here. Right quick. I'm scrolling through the book, y'all. Uh to see if he's in here at all so that I could read out his portion. He may be in the first book too. I got to check because I got both books. Um but I'm in the second book right now. So I'm looking up what you just said, Mr. Matty. I don't know if he made the book. I'm not sure if he made the book. You know, he may have not have made the book. You know, he may not even be good enough. Definitely in the first book. Okay. Because I looked in the last one, didn't see him at all. Let's see. I was seeing if he was in here anywhere. I'm scrolling, y'all. I'm looking. Hey, honeybee love, how you doing this morning? I'm scrolling. So many pages. So much to look through. Let's see. I'm scrolling through Miss Josie's books right now so that give me just a minute, y'all. I'm trying to see if he's in this. Let's see. We got a lot of pages, y'all. Miss Josie's books. They do tell a lot of the information for things. I'm scrolling both books right now, y'all. So that's why it's taking me a minute. That's the only thing I could tell Miss Josie would be to put a glossary in the back so that if you're looking for a specific page, it'd be easier. It says, hello, you effing blah, 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 blah. I'm the biggest, baddest, blah, 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 blah. Everything, blah, 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 blah. Never lost fight, blah, 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 blah. No prison could hold me, blah, 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 blah. And I was the leader of every gang, blah, 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 blah. Respect me, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. So that's what it says. It says so much blah, 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 and blah, 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 because he is blah, 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 blah. Let's see. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it, but I'm scrolling just to see if we can find it. Because you never know. That would be bad if he's not even named at all. At all. And I don't think he is. I'm going to say this. I didn't see him in there. I did play part 2. That was part 2 of the hero video. Yeah, that part 2 was 4 minutes and 27 seconds. And it was low again. I'm going to replay this one because I believe it was too low. But I'm going to replay part 2 again. Just in case people couldn't hear well enough. Because I didn't check to see if the volume was up. I played part 1 and part 2, Mr. Matty. If you want me to, I'll represent them. I will. It's not. They're only a few minutes long each one. This is part 1. We're gonna play it again because my sound was a little low. So let's do this.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I'll tell you a story. When I was a kid, I was asked to hook up. They wanted me because I was a big fucking guy. I could fight. They knew it. I was fucking mean. But I was more. I at the time, my father was an angel. I hadn't fucking gotten. I was basically brought up around that, and they were wanting me to join the disciples. There was a set called the White Gangster Disciples. that was starting out in the suburbs of Chicago, and they were wanting me to run it. And I told them, I says, no, I says, I can't. And they said, well, they at least wanted me to ride out with them when they would fight. So they wanted to fucking tell everybody that they violated me and brought me in anyway. My father was a POW. He was tortured for 19 months in a prison camp. I've told the story. It's but you know, again, that's what we sign up for. We know things can get crazy over there, but somebody's got to do it. And you got to remember something, just like motorcycle clubs. Do you know that 1% of the population actually serves? Crazy, isn't it? Yeah, it's crazy. But 1% of the population serves. And my great-grandfather was a Marine. My grandfather was a Marine. My father was a Marine. My brother was a Marine. I was a Marine. And I'll leave it at that because I might have somebody still active. And it was fucking amazing, dude. We're fucking goddamn shit blowed all over the place. Walruses running up the road. Fucking goddamn seals fucking in the backyard bathtubs or the fucking pools. And Jesus, dude. And my wife showed me one from the other day, and the motherfucking shark is going down the goddamn street. And we got a dumbass that came in with a fake Chicago muscle. You do realize that even fucking your IP can be grabbed through your fake ass fucking VPN, right? You do understand that, right? Just because you have a VPN on does not mean the cops can't fucking get through that VPN. Can I ask you a question? Why would somebody tell a woman, I have your picture and I have your IP? You know what I mean?
Well, that was the first for me, actually. I didn't know how to react to that. It was weird. I don't know what he meant by it. Is it a threat?
That was a
threat. That was a threat.
Right. So that means I shouldn't be coming here, basically.
Well, no, because we don't care about your IP or your picture. You can come here anytime. You're no danger from us at all. I don't want to, hurt anybody in real life or anything. Well, no, it would have been the 80s, because in 86, I would have been 16.
Okay.
Okay, so, and I would have been like 15. Yeah. I would have been like 15 years old.
I think I got a little bit of knowledge about what's going on there? Or fucking goddamn Charles Salton fucking while you're fucking at it trying to fucking really hammer down the point. He's going to kill someone. Oh, good Lord. Okay, well, I think that everybody has enough proof now to know that Johnny Mack, and the reason he says all the horrible things about Chicago Muscle is because Chicago Muscle exposed you, motherfucker.
They have a moderator here that they've convinced over there that I'm a racist. And I actually have, he's not a child anymore. I raised he's a Marine. I raised a black Marine, the biggest black Marine you ever seen in your fucking life. Now, you talk about a monster, okay? Or a wetback. Wetback's not a fucking racist thing, is it? I mean, when they fucking swam over here from Cuba, didn't they get a wetback? I don't know about you guys, but when I go swimming, I get a wetback. You'd see me in the fucking street and I'd fuck you in your ass, you fucking bitch. Okay, I will not do it. If you ask me a question, I don't really want to talk about people behind their back. So all the PMs and shit, just cancel that shit. I'm going to tell you right now. This is what I've got to say, and I'm going to fucking leave it alone and drop it forever. Everyone who's here and everyone who knows me knows how fucking loyal I have been to certain parties around here.
Did find out through all of this who I can fucking trust. The number keeps getting smaller, but the team will continue to get stronger. Never forget that. Team Muscle, have faith. Don't despair. I'm still here.
The enemies, after all the fucking good I've done. Involved? The answer will most likely be yes. The fucking place is out of control. The FBI is watching. And this bullshit is time to fucking put an end to it. And I think I can be most effective by taking getting off here.
Okay, so that was part one and part two. Now I think I did find the passage, Mr. Maddie, in Miss um does he go by because it's saying it's Redzilla and it's saying that the nickname Trambo, because a lot of the stories match up with what you told me in chat. Is that um the person or not? And it's talking about the Cane Shades person and how they got into a fight. Is that the correct story? Because if it is, I'll read out the passage from um, Miss Josie's book. Because as I was looking, when I started reading into this one, it was talking about the Cane Shade person, and it was talking about the boxers and all that other stuff. So I don't know if this is the correct story. That's why I'm asking. Maybe you know better than I do, obviously. I didn't know. I have no idea who's fighting who. I still got to read. Oh, Transpo is Tony Silo. Oh, we're gonna have to talk to Miss Josie. Cause let me read you. Oh, okay, so that we're gonna talk to Miss Josie because she wrote down Redzilla instead of Tony Silo. Um, yeah. Ooh, Miss Josie's in trouble. No, it says right here, it says, Trambo, a man who lies to himself and believes his own lies, become able to recognize the truth either in himself or anyone else. Redzilla is named Trambo, much like when MRE nicknames someone, it sticks. I believe the thought behind it was because the man continually transforming into something else depending on the circumstance. Trambo appeared on the scene and it seemed from nowhere. Oh, so Redzilla and Cane Shades also called out Trambo. Oh, Miss Josie. She made a mistake. um, and it's the channels for a long time, especially Angel Gotti's channel. At one time, he subscribed to MRE and donated money to his channel under a different name. This fact will become ironic later. When Trambo appeared in the arena, he began with Angel Gotti. Apparently, they had been friends for some time, and he went to their panel several times, told elaborate stories on his life. He introduced his wife and seemed a decent enough guy. In his late 50s, he's a heavy New York accent with a heavy draw. He told us all he was a former professional boxer. He knew all the famous boxers. He claimed to have trained in the Catskills with Sick Tyson, who had fought Kimbo Slice twice. He said he was a wealthy with multiple businesses and that he had a beautiful waterfront property in Florida. He also had a huge portfolio of real estate properties in other states. Each time he appeared on a creator's panel, his stories would become more and more elaborate. I didn't notice because I didn't pay full attention. My knowledge of boxing is limited. Unfortunately for Trambo, other creators did notice and beginning of the end for him was a disastrous collaboration with Cane Shades. Cane Shades had a channel called The Bodega and was very interested in sports, football, boxing, and most sports. On hearing Transbo's stories, he thought it would be a good idea if they collaborated on a channel that was devoted to sports, predominantly boxing, as this was Transbo's forte. Before the channel even got off the ground, Kane would do a live stream called Trambo Out. According to Kane, Trambo tried to pass himself off as another famous boxer, Vinny Madalone. At the time, Kane had not physically seen him as Transbo and would use an avatar when on live stream, and they had only spoken over the phone. Yeah, I was just reading it. Yeah. And then, okay, so we were right here. At first, Kane was very excited at the prospect of working with such a renowned boxer. Unfortunately, most things Trambo said would turn out to be a pack of lies. Angry and incensed, Kane called him out on a live stream. Trambo denied ever saying he was Vinny Maldon And the problem with this was Kane has always been straight up guy. He was not a combative person. He was always even tempered. What I took from it was more of a disappointment than anything else. Kane was adamant in his claims and everyone believed him. As soon as Kane put it out there, he was attacked viciously by Trambo and his cohorts. People began to dig into Transbo's life, and a litany of lies and half truths emerged. He claimed to have been inducted into the Navy by a black judge who was about to sentence him for a petty crime. The judge, according to Trambo, recognized he was a boxer and sentenced him to fight for the Navy. He told an unbelievable story of him fooling around with the admiral's daughter. The admiral found out and he had him dropped off in Tig, but he had stolen 8 peacoats, so he came out on top. The whole story was ludicrous. He called the judge a black B word, Bastard, and a slow rage began with me. I was just sick of this closet racism. However, I pushed it down at the time. I was not concerned with whether he lied about boxing or too much else. I'm not sure how Angel felt about him. I never asked her at the time. She fiercely defended him. It would not be too long before I would have a run in with him. During this period, I was in a knockdown, drag-out fight with Harambe. Rumor had it that Trambo and he were very good friends, so much so that they spoke on the phone every day and would meet up for dinner. Eventually, all the lies Trambo told would come back to haunt him. He was called out left and right. Phone recordings of him emerged, literally saying he was Vinny Maldon, vindicating Kane Chase because some people had begun to wonder if Kane was lying. Those who knew him knew he was telling the truth all along. Angel became, because of their friendship, stood up for him a little while longer, but eventually he would turn on her and nestle in the bosom of Harambe. I could not understand how he's a good friend with Angel and a good friends with Harambe and was letting him rip her and her family to pieces. The things he said about her deceased father were horrific, and many of us were sickened by it. Transbo denied being his friend. He also denied living in Florida. The lies were quickly torn down because of Harambe put up a picture of him and Trambo having drinks together. Trambo tried to convince everyone that he had just started on YouTube and that he was green to what was going on. There were some very phony moments where Trambo, who was once one of the thinnest skinned people I've ever seen, he would explode with rage if anyone said anything he did not like. So I don't know who Trambone is, but dude. Yeah, I was doing story time, Mr. Grumpy, for Miss Josie's book. We were doing story time. Sorry about that. I was muted up because my hubby was talking about we have lunch plans. So, I was trying to talk about that. I'm sorry. Hey, Mr. Grumpy. Hey, Miss Raditha. And my husband just said sorry. Yes, we were doing story times. Um, Thank you so much, Mr. Rubin, for the apology. Um, So that's the only thing. Yeah, I was doing some I was trying to go through here and find the person that Mr. Maddie was talking about in the book, and that was the passage that I saw that most matched some things, and but I was trying to find the actual page. I wish Miss Josie was here because she could probably tell me exactly where that story is. Um because there's a lot of, obviously the books like over, it's very long, and then you got the first book too, so I was trying to find in which book the person would be in, so that us that don't know could get more of a backstory kind of situation, you know? Because I love Miss Josie's books. Yeah, I know. She's on the beach. She's getting her groove back. Y'all don't bother Miss Josie. She's getting her groove back, y'all. She getting her groove back, you know. She having some fun right now. But I was seeing, you know, I was trying to there's the rise of Tig. And I'm just scrolling through the book, you know. I was doing a story time and showing some information that Mr. Maddie wanted us to know about. But I don't know which page. Hold on just a minute, y'all. Sorry about that, y'all. Hey, Miss Deborah. Um, yeah. So it says I'm just gonna read this because you know I love Miss Josie's books, and I don't know who. The Rise of Tig. We all know someone who speaks fluent shit. That's a direct quote from Miss Josie's book. Um, the Rise of Tig. One day, Tig showed up in my chat. However, he said he disagreed with Pizza Gambino's daily racial and verbal abuse of me, even though he had a wrench in his chat. I had not seen his name before and watched Pizza Gambino's show, especially after he attacked me. I would be sent clips of relevant things pertaining to me. I was warned to stay away from Tig because he was part of the pizza army. I did not think so. He may have been in the past, but judging by his videos, he certainly did not care for pizza's philosophies. Tig's videos were hilarious, and he always started them with a thunderous, deep, throaty laugh that lasted for several seconds. Not long later, he began making short videos about pizza. He would then rip Pizza Gambino into a new a-hole. Pizza did a lame comeback video, but he was no match for Tig in wit, humor, or anything else. Tig described himself as a 6'9" Adonis. His voice sounded that way. He said he worked out daily and was in peak physical condition for a man in his 50s. He was married, retired, and won a Purple Heart. As an ex-biker, people doubted him, but I didn't because there was nothing to say otherwise. Tig single-handedly battered Pizza and the Pizza Army into submission. He did it cleverly by exposing Pizza Army members one by one. It was a wonderful thing to witness. The degenerates that hid behind an avatar and cheered Pizza on scurried for the hills. He would have them reeling and scurrying for cover like cockroaches caught in the light. Nothing gave me more satisfaction than when Tig found out who they were and put their pictures for all to see and their real names. It was a rogues gallery of misfits, and once a face was put to the name, it was laughable. One by one, they defected from the Pizza Army. Some apologized for being in it in the first place, and slowly but surely, the Pizza Army was no more. Even Smack, the founder of the Pizza Army, defected, and Pizza Gambino was left out in the cold. YouTube penalized Pizza ever so often and banned him for a few days. On one occasion, he removed his entire channel only to start up again a few weeks later. Pizza had become dependent on the cash apps he received, and it was better than panhandling on the street. He would appear looking pitiful and say, "It's going to rain tonight, please help," and the money would pour in. Later, he would get a dog and use the dog to pull at his subscribers' heartstrings by saying, "I need Dog food. Pizza is a master manipulator, and his followers always fall for it. Tig came out of the gate swinging, a force to be reckoned with a loud, gravelly, raspy voice. It was as tough he had smoked 10 packs of cigarettes before appearing live. It was as though his videos always began the same way, and he laughed for 3 minutes. In the beginning, his laugh irritated me. It was maniacal and continued for far too long. But with each video, I got used to it, and it didn't irk me as much. He went after Pizza Gambino and the Pizza Army with a vengeance and denounced his racial slurs. Pizza Gambino's statements about the 911 terrorist attack upset most people, creators and subscribers alike. It especially upset Tig, who loudly declared to the world that he was a passionate Trump supporter. He believed in the First Amendment and the right to bear arms. He described himself looking back was insane. He was a 6'9" Adonis, a muscular beast who worked out every day. He was proclaimed to have huge biceps and could crack walnuts with his thighs. Every woman's dream. A veteran who came from a long line of veterans, an ex-Marine who had the honor of being bestowed with a Purple Heart for bravery. According to him, he had done several Afghanistan tours. He lived in the Ozarks and had two sons, both police officers, and his wife Linda, whom he had been married to for over 30 years. He would all discover that everything with Tig was superior and better than anyone else. His wife, he graded her a 10, describing her as the most beautiful woman on the planet. She had the body of a Greek goddess. He said he was a biker and a Hell's Angel, but retired. He declared himself a one percenter. In the biker world, a one percenter is a member of an outlaw motorcycle club that is highly structured and criminal. Only clubs that are large enough and involved in criminal wear the 1% patch to claim to be the baddest of the bad. Tig said he had done a 12-year prison stint for armed robbery and upon his release decided to change his life. He had a lucrative business building computers and to all intents and purposes lived in a comfortable life. Tig was previously in the Pizza Army. However, his conscience would not allow him to stay a subscriber of the Army because he was not a racist. Pizza Gambino's racial abuse of me prompted him to leave the Pizza Army and champion my cause. He was a white knight that rode in to save me. Tig fancied himself as the Mob 2 moral police, and he despised women abusers, informants, and leftists, which he, much like Pizza Gambino, referred to as a woke jokes. At the beginning, we were all taken in, and he developed a substantial following. Tig berated Pizza daily. With a biting tongue and quick wit, he would tear Pizza down to dare bare bones while laughing hysterically with that loud maniacal laugh. He called Pizza every foul name he could think of, using the most offensive language. I was grateful to have someone in my corner who went to bat for me and defended me. However, there were many times when something he did or said did not sit right with me. Despite my reservations, I kept it to myself. At this time, my channel was called Just Josie, and Ronaldo ran the channel while I was the face of it. Ronaldo, I had met him some months prior, and when I was starting, and he offered to help me. Ronaldo was more experienced and had been on YouTube for several years. He did not care for Tig from the beginning. He didn't trust him and made his feelings known. Ronaldo's take on him was that he could be anyone because no one knew who he was. Ronaldo did not believe anything he said. Of course, Miss Gullible, me, felt Ronaldo was rushing to judgment. I wanted to give Tig a chance because he defended me so vigorously, and I was grateful. Ronaldo felt he had strong-armed and manipulated his way into becoming a moderator in my chat. Moderators can be awarded wrenches and monitor the conversation for inappropriate behavior. They can time that person out or block them. I had bestowed a wrench upon him as a thank you. Ronaldo's main gripe was that Tig would disappear for several weeks and then reappear as if he had not been absent. Ronaldo did not want us to hitch our wagon to him, and he made all these enemies then disappear, leaving us holding the bag. I was not so concerned about that as we had fought alone for many months. We could easily do it again. If Tig disappeared, I would still fight back against Piggy and Harambe. Ronaldo had watched Tig's behavior in other creators' chats, and he seemed to follow the same MO. This was first to take over the conversation by making comment after comment and then to block people he didn't like. Or if he did not like their comment, he would block them altogether. He badgered me into taking people's wrenches in my chat that he disapproved of. I refused and he was unhappy. When I did my first live show, true to form, Tig began making comment after comment and then blocking people. Ronaldo wanted me to remove his wrench after the show ended. Although I saw what Tig had been doing and agreed with Ronaldo, I was reluctant to remove his wrench. I knew he would be upset. To Tig, a wrench meant you trusted him, and to take it away, he saw it as a huge disrespect. I mulled it over. I felt very uncomfortable with Tig having a wrench at the same time. I did not want to upset him. I felt obligated to him for defending me against Pizza Gambino. NB at this time was very friendly with Tig, so I called her for advice. MB stayed on the fence. She said she liked us both and did not want to take sides. After much consideration, I took Tig's wrench. I did not want at that the time, but I also felt obligated to Ronaldo. We ran the channel together, and he had a say. Before I took the wrench, I messaged Tig on Twitter. That was my only way to communicate with him. He was so paranoid about being tracked and that his information would be exposed that he did not use email. Tig had a burner phone that he used to call certain people. However, he never gave out his phone number. Later, when Tig called me, it was always from a blocked ID. I explained why I took the wrench, to which he exploded in a rage, berating Ronaldo and me. And although I had incurred Tig's wrath, I felt relief. Ronaldo was happy because he thought Tig was trouble. No one knew his identity before the wrench gate. Tig had caused issues and disappeared for several weeks. Ronaldo didn't trust him. I was glad it was over and moved forward. Tig's free. Tig found a new damsel in distress, or so he thought, Angel Gotti. Angel is the daughter of John Gotti, the former boss of the Gambino crime family in New York. Angel started her channel to dispel lies informants told about her family. As an Angel acknowledged Tig, he became obsessed with her. Tig jumped into full fighting mode and went after Piggy and Harambe, who had joined forces to go after Angel and Mob Rats Exposed. He went after them with a vengeance. We all enjoyed watching him dismantle both men. He exposed everything about them, from Harambe being a sex fiend and serial batterer of women, to Piggy being an informant and pathological liar, a scourger, and a rat. Tig thought he had hit the big time. He was part of the inner circle. Angel praised and supported his channel. Mob Rats Exposed says favorable things about him and shared his channel. I can't wait for book 3, Grumpy. I can't. Ooh, I swear. We're all glad he was on the side of right. Piggy and Harambe were livid. They hated him with a passion. He put their whole lives out there to expose their lies. He also took it one step further, and this act would begin his demise. Much like Tig had behaved in my chat after Angel gave him a wrench, he began the same behavior and commented back to back, essentially taking over her chat. Every second comment was from him, and then started blocking people left and right for no reason except not liking them. This gave Tig a tremendous sense of power. He often bragged about how he had cleaned Angel's chat up and that it was now free from trolls because of him. Tig appeared on her panel sporadically, giving his 2 cents on what was going on. He was loud and overbearing, and although Angel did not have a voice at this time, I think she felt stifled by him. Don't this sound familiar? Um, the battle between Piggy and Harambe and Angel raged on. Their tactics had become degenerate. For example, putting up pictures of her deceased brother lying broken and bloody on the road. Many years prior, her brother Frankie Boy was mowed down by a neighbor. He rode up and down the street on his bike. The neighbor was speeding and drunk. He hit Frankie, who died instantly. Memes appeared showing a dead little boy on the street. There were several, and it was truly despicable. Piggy became unhinged and rebuked Angel's mother, calling her a cunt and a whore. This took my breath away. Total disrespect for someone's mother is beyond belief. He accused her mother of nagging Gotti Sr. to Erder John Favre, the neighbor who killed her son. John Favre disappeared, but the Gotti family was in Florida at the time grieving. It is anyone's guess what happened to him, as he never seen again, but it has nothing to do with Angel's mother. Things turned up a notch when Harambe started after Angel's children. Although they are now adults, both are hardworking, decent people. He called them drug addicts and made up nasty stories about them. They went after everyone in her family, but she drew the line at her children. Harambe gave Angel an ultimatum that she cut Tig, whom he was now nicknamed the Maggot, or he would continue to go after her children. There was no decision. Angel decided to get rid of Tig. Angel explained that she would need him not to be in her chat and to cut ties for the sake of her children. She did not want them exposed to Harambe and Piggy's defamation and slandering stories. On the surface, Tig seemed to understand and made a whole video informing everyone that he would fall on his sword for Angel and her children. He gave an elaborate speech about how he decided to walk away for her sake. He understood her reasons for asking him to turn in his wrench, and there were no hard feelings. This was all bull. After watching his video, Angel made her own video explaining exactly what happened and her reasons for it. Tig implied that it was his idea to give up his wrench and walk into the sunset. This was for the love of Angel and her children, who he now considered to be like family to him. He walked away for the better of the world. Both he and Linda. Hold on. Okay, so let's finish our story because we're reading our story time. This is story time with Miss Josie's books. Sorry about that. My son walked in. Y'all know I mute up when he comes in. Both he and Linda had decided to dox themselves to get ahead of it, and he said he would put the photographs up that night. I advised against it simply because I thought Angel was angry and I couldn't see her doing that as she hated doxing. Additionally, I thought that as soon as Harambe and his sidekick Piggy had their hands on any photos of them, memes with penises in his wife's mouth would appear. It was at this time that he showed his true colors. He used racial slurs when speaking about Italians, and I did not doubt that the word in was a household favorite, that the N word was a household favorite. I kept my thoughts to myself, and once he calmed down and thought about it, he decided not to dox himself. Tig was not happy, however. Angel's threat worked because whenever he referred to her after this incident, he was always respectful and, in my opinion, kissed her arse. Tig doubled down on Harambe. He didn't mention Piggy too much, only here and there. His attacks on Harambe and his family were prolonged and vicious. He put up less than flattering pictures of Harambe's overweight girlfriend in his swimsuit. Standing together, they looked like number 10, which I did not think was right at first, but my opinion changed when his girlfriend joined him in his attacks on me. Tig cut to the white meat, presenting all Harambe's charges, including SA, fraud, and many violent offenses. He had beaten every single woman he had ever been with. One woman had a lifetime restraining order against him. It showed that he had spent 22 years in prison. Piggy made excuses for him and repeated Harambe's innocence protest. Tig left no stone unturned. He searched through Harambe's entire family and posted pictures of his son, who was facing a lengthy jail sentence for sex trafficking. Much like his father, he also liked to beat up women. The apple did not fall far from the tree. Tig dug into his personal life in a way I did not see before. Harambe had been many emotional problems, and his life was a shit show. It was nothing like he portrayed it to be. He was a 60-year-old man with nothing to his name. It was sad. Tig appeared to have no limits. There was no boundaries with him, so Piggy and Harambe returned the favor. Through all this back and forth, many people questioned Tig's validity. If one person had a Harley Davidson, he would have several Harleys. Tig claimed to own several properties. He was a millionaire. He had expensive toys. He talked about his father being a World War II veteran and a POW. Tig was a huge military supporter and a staunch Donald Trump supporter. politics would leak into his shows occasionally. Most of the creators and subscribers were Trump supporters. Politics did not bother me as I'm not politically inclined. There were things I liked about Trump, things I didn't like. For Tig, not liking Trump was a deal breaker. That meant you were a woke joke. His ideology was very similar to Pizza Gambino's. Tig often declared his reasons for starting his channel. This was that he did not like Pizza's racial attacks on me. He said he had raised a black child, his nephew, because his sister was a drug addict and could not care for him. So Tig raised him, and he was now in the military. I had no reason to question that. I thought it was commendable. Tig said this several times on his show, usually in response to someone calling him a racist. Many people felt Tig was a closet racist. The reason for this was periodically he would slip and call Hispanic people wetbacks. I'm so sorry for saying that, also. Thank you, Miss Rocky Gage. Hey, Beantown. Hey, everybody. We're having story time on Miss Josie's books. Um, the N bomb fell from his lips a few times, but he dismissed it as just an expression. He could not be racist because he raised a black child. If I'm honest, deep down, I felt he held racist views simply because he slipped up. As time progressed on, these slip ups became more prevalent. In my opinion, there were many closet racists in the genre. He was not alone. For a short period, Tig defended Angel Gotti. When Pizza Gambino made any racial slurs against me, he kept quiet because I had hurt his feelings and shown disloyalty by removing his wrench. I was okay with it and continued with my shows. Ronaldo and I parted ways at this point, and I was alone. I only went on once a week to round up the week's events. After one show, I responded to a show Harambe had done about me. It seemed to me that Harambe could not go a day without uttering my name. I was irate and did one of my famous rant videos. After that, Tig contacted me again. He said that although we had not seen eye to eye in the past, we had a common enemies, Harambe and Piggy, so we should collaborate occasionally. I had no problem with it. The more, the merrier. So my association with Tig began again. He called me periodically, always from a black number. I could only contact him on Twitter. It was widely acknowledged that this was an unfair advantage. I had already been doxxed 100 times. My number had been out there, so it did not concern me. Plus, I understood why he did not want to be doxxed. He wanted to protect his family, which is normal. Harambe and Piggy ramped up their doxing. It got to the point where they threatened to dig up dead relatives' bones and piss on their graves. They broke all boundaries. No one was off limits, dead or alive. Harambe kept his word and did not go after Angel Gotti's children. However, he still used her father's name in every show title and mentioned her occasionally. He did this for clicks and views. The Gotti name brought clicks and views, and he utilized her name to the max. I hated this period of time. The fact that this lowlife associated himself with the Gotti name made me sick. Tig continued his verbal attacks on Harambe and Piggy. I would occasionally do a show, usually in response to the lies they told about me. Tig would often come on my show and we would bash them together. One day, Tig announced he was starting up a channel with an unknown creator called Deadly. The channel was called Team Tig's Clubhouse. It was called the Clubhouse on the premise that Tig was a retired Hells Angels. This was so he could run his clubhouse like a biker's clubhouse with the same rules. Again, many people, including his main adversary, Load on the Sheets, another guy out of Philadelphia who claimed to be a lone patch and involved in a biker world, which I had no clue about, questioned his timeline. He served in the military. He was a biker. They brought in their gang at 16 years old, which would never happen. He was in prison for 12 years and said he was 58. I did not care that much. As far as I was concerned, Tig was highly effective in going after our enemies, so I ignored what was being said. It crossed my mind many times that he could be lying about his circumstances. Admittedly, some things did not add up, but I did not dwell on them. Michael Franchese, a former mob captain, did his time in prison there. Is debate over whether he ratted on anyone or not. Some think he did, others don't think so. As savvy as Michael is, I believe some sort of deal was struck. He now has a successful YouTube channel and travels the world speaking about his former life. Tig was very excited. He messaged Michael's daughter on Twitter and she responded. He went so far as to send a picture of himself to her and loudly proclaimed on his show that he was in contact with her. It turned out it was not Michael's daughter, but Deadly masquerading as her. He completely fooled Tig and came close to finding out who he was. Tig, as always, played it off like he knew he was being fooled, but I did not believe that. Tig thought he was in contact with the girl until Deadly slipped up, and Tig and Deadly spoke and became friends. Deadly was a 26-year-old gamer, a computer nerd who was easily impressionable and was likely to fall for Tig's stick, hook, line, and sinker. Deadly was a soft spoken, unassuming guy. His voice was monotone and he would only speak when spoken to. He spoke very slowly. You would have to strain to hear him. Some people thought he was stupid, but they were wrong. He was far from it. Up to a certain point in time, he was the only person to fool Tig. He was a gamer and he knew his way around a computer. There was more to Deadly than meets the eye, and I, for one, liked him. The Team Tig Clubhouse was born. The first show consisted of Tig going after Harambe with a vengeance, which we all enjoyed and cheered him on. After the first few shows, he was joined by Sick Slick, a former Pizza Army lieutenant who had defected some months prior. I liked Sick Slick, even though he cheered Pizza on for many months when Pizza called me all those racial slurs and filthy names. Sick apologized to me and others, so I had no hard feelings toward him. He too despised Piggy and Harambe. His addition to the clubhouse was a plus because he and Tig could converse with each other as Deadly barely spoke at all. Tig and Sick were soon joined by ex-biker called Real Deal, an elderly guy in his 70s who had previously been a member of the Outlaws, another biker gang like the Hells Angels, a gruff old goat with a raspy voice. He and Tig hit it off because of their biker affiliation in the past. I knew nothing about the biker world, but people who did know about questioned their friendship. An ex-Hells Angel and an outlaw were deemed impossible friends. They were mortal enemies in the biker world. It was believed that the Real Deal was what he said he was. He occasionally showed his face. They did not believe Tig was who he said he was. He was because he never showed his face and he hid behind a POW avatar. Then there are four. It all began well. Smack, Load on the Sheets, and Thin Gray Line had departed from the MobTube community as pariahs. They were excluded from every group and had nowhere to go. Strangely, they decided to join an all women's community that talked about reality shows, knitting, and crocheting. On the surface, it sounded crazy, but there was a method to their madness. They thought a woman's community would be more accessible. They could all get their flirt on and be praised and admired by those women. They could not have been more wrong. This disastrous decision would expose Tig and leave others floundering like fish out of water. It began with Tig contacted one of the women from that community. He had heard in the wind that she was having problems with a guy who attacked her daily, and that guy was none other than Smack. Tig seized this opportunity and rallied the women to rise against the interlopers, Smack, Load, and Thin Gray Line. He did a show with several women as guests, and the leader appeared to be a woman in her 60s called Sierra. Sierra ran a knitted and crochet community. As soon as she appeared on screen and began talking, I quickly realized knitting and crocheting were not the focus of this new community. Tig loved it because many of these women had channels with thousands of subscribers in his mind. He could poach some of those women to subscribe to him, go after the interlopers, abusing them. This would result in him being hailed as a hero, the savior of women. Sierra explained that Smack and Load and TGL had come into their community and caused havoc, pitting against the other. From what I could tell, have the community was much like MobTube, except more dangerous. The women were vicious and would call child protective service on each other and dox each other's addresses and phone numbers. One woman said that Sierra had contacted her abusive ex-boyfriend, whom she and her children had been hiding from for years, and told him where she was. I needed help understanding what they were arguing about or where it started. None of it made sense to me. I really should do that. I really should do that. And I'm going to drop Miss Josie's book link also in just a moment. None of it made sense to me. Six one half a dozen of the other. All the women hurled abuse at each other, and I thought Tig had made a big mistake bringing this hot mess into our community. In Tig's mind, he was no now the white knight, the savior of all women. He joined their panels and had them on had them on his. He asked me to join one forum, which I did, but that was the only time I would participate. I declined to continue when he platformed the women from the other community. My reasons were that I had nothing to contribute to it. I could not make a head or tail of what they were arguing about. I was asked to tell them about my experience with Smack on the first show. After that, I had nothing to say. I also felt that whatever they argued about had nothing to do with him. His channel turned into a fishwives forum with women screaming at each other. His show original concept disappeared and I lost interest. I still watch and commented here and there in the chat, but I had no desire to join the panel. At this time, a couple of new women had joined, which I was happy about because it took the pressure off me. I was obligated to participate on his panel because he defended me. Sometimes I did not want to continue on, but I did so out of obligation. I felt manipulated because he said things like, I need your help. I helped you. When Sierra first appeared on his panel, I listened to what she had to say. Her voice was shaky and she sounded extremely stressed out as she explained what Smack was doing to her. This was making daily shows about her defending a woman on his show that had problems with Sarah. Although I could understand her position, I had some negative vibes about the whole thing. I told Tig how I felt and stepped back, not solely for this reason. I wanted to continue my writing and do shows and other things. The constant fighting back and forth took time and effort. It had become tedious and tiresome. All sides repeated the same thing over and over again. Almost a week later, everything changed as Tig had done in the past. Sarah was now his mortal enemy. He had appeared on her show to address the knitting community. He unfortunately presented himself as a bombastic brute, using foul language and words that offended most of Sierra's audience. Oh yes, yes. Let me get that link right quick for y'all because y'all got to get both books. They're very awesome, and this is just a little bit of the book. Like this book is 200 and some pages, just the second book. You got to get both books though. Both books are worth getting. Okay, let me get the link right quick to both of her books. So what I'm gonna do is um I'm gonna drop the link to her store page so you can get both books at once because it'll have both books where you can get both books. Mob 2 Chronicles 1 and 2. You got to get both of them. They're so good. Okay, here's the book. Here's the book link, y'all. Okay. Y'all got to get it. It's really, really good. I can't wait to book 3, Grumpy. I cannot wait. Wait. I cannot wait to book 3. Ooh, I can't wait. She's got to get started on book 3. I'm just saying. But, it's going to be epic in my opinion. And then it's talking about, you know, you got to read. Yeah, we're living it right now, Beantown. For real. I can't wait to book 3. I'm super excited. That was just some inserts from book 2, right? I've read a few inserts from book 1, right? Book 1, I will say, let me say, I'm gonna find y'all something right quick. I want to read a sweet thing from her book. Something nice right quick because since Mr. Grumpy Italian's in here, hold on. I'm gonna find his page right quick. Y'all know it's gonna take me a second. I gotta find Mr. Grumpy's page. Or let me see who's. Let me find somebody in book 1. Let's see what we got here. I'm scrolling. I had to look. I can't wait for more from Miss Josie. I love the books. Absolutely adore. Um, I'm right now flipping through the book, and I'm just gonna find a passage because I just read from book two, right? And y'all can finish that at your own convenience. I could finish it for you, but that leaves you wanting more. Um, let me see. Actually, let's go. I'm gonna go to Miss Josie's page. Okay. Just Josie. This is about Miss Josie. She wrote this about herself. I decided to create my own channel because of the subject matter of mobsters and crime. There were no women in this genre as creators, and I thought a woman's point of view would be a good addition. Boy, was I wrong. MRE was the first to discover my channel. I had started out just giving my thoughts on John Ali and how differently we saw things in England. I also talked about a little bit about my background. MRE Mob Rats Exposed got me my first subscribers, and as he had done for many of the creators with small channels just starting out. He always shouts them out and asks people to subscribe to them with no ulterior motive, unlike FBI, who would shout out people but would then be threatened if their channels did well. He would then sabotage them using devious and underhanded tactics. I called it Josie's Weekly Indictments. I would later change the name to Just Josie. The promise was that I watched the shows about the mob to include the ex mobster creators, give a review of what I thought about their content, good or bad or indifferent, then hand down an indictment to whomever I felt deserved one that week. I got off to a slow start and made a video once a week. At this time, I had no clue about YouTube, live streaming, trolls, subscriptions, views, viewing time, cash apps, super chats, or monetization. I had a lot to learn. I watched the mob related channels and wrote down my thoughts on shows. It was to be my content. I started my content slowly. My time was limited, so I could not devote much time to developing a channel, so I figured once a week would be enough. I watched the shows during the week and gave my opinion on the content. One of my first indictments was handed down to John Pensy. While I enjoyed the story, at the point I had not seen MRE's commentary. I was highly disturbed that he had said he had used his daughter at one point as a human shield. He thought there may have been a sniper trained on him, so he held his daughter up to a window so the hitman would know there were children in the house and not shoot. I was shocked and appalled by this because I felt his child should have been placed in a safe place out of harm's way. If If things were bad, I understood his logic, but some hitmen may care who was there. Women and children are supposedly off limits. Putting myself in the place, he was terrified and not thinking clearly. He still got an indictment. Lee Cole and FBI were way ahead of me as far as numbers. They both had 1,000 subscribers. I had a few hundred slowly climbing, but I was not as vested in it as they were. Other creators would come on every day, sometimes 2 and 3 times a day, and Lee was looking to subsidize his income and some extra pin money. FBI was working, and although Sienna also worked, every little bit helped. I did not care about numbers and enjoyed watching the different shows and giving my thoughts. Jesse kept his eye on the analytics and would update me occasionally. Not that I was interested or really understood them. I left the side of things to him. But yeah, so I'm sorry about that, y'all. So but you do the link that I dropped, and I was reading from the book. I was reading from MobTube Chronicles, and I was reading from MobTube Chronicles 2. Miss Josie, the MobTube Chronicles is her. Let me find her page right quick. Um, so that y'all can subscribe if you're not. Miss Josie is a very good person. I love Miss Josie. I think she's sweetheart. She don't take crap from no one. She tells it like it is. You know what I'm saying? But I like Miss Josie a lot. I think she's good people. So I'm gonna drop her channel link right quick. Um, and then I love her books. I've read her books, and her books are amazing in my opinion. I love that song. I really do. I can be your hero, baby. But I had to read some of her book. Her book is amazing. Um, yeah, that's another thing. Like, here's the thing. Um, Josie's books are her, what she's went through, but it can give you some backstory, right, of what's went on in MobTube. And also, hey, Mr. Mike, I didn't say hey to you. Hey, Miss Raditha, I'm so sorry. Hey, Watcher Love, I know I was reading from books. Y'all know sometimes I be reading. And also, Miss Roxy, thank you for joining. But yes, I've dropped the link to Miss Josie's books and her channel. Miss Josie has done an amazing job, in my opinion, chronologizing it. Like telling us what's went on, and a lot of it is from her perspective. But at the same time, it is also, I think she did a good job trying to be as unbiased, um, as she literally. Oh, let me put Honeybee. Your Miss Raditha, you want Miss Honeybee's channel? Okay, let me go. I'll go to her channel right quick, and I'll share it right quick so you can see Miss Honeybee's channel. There you go. There's Miss Honeybee's channel. Okay, I just made sure I shared that out. I will say that I think that Miss Palomina, I think she was trying to be cool with everybody and not really trying to per se get into the mess, if that makes sense. And I wouldn't. This is just my personal opinion. My A1 day ones, I would not get rid of for some new person who claims they're going to help me build my channel. Because to me, numbers and money mean nothing, right? If you're not loyal to your A1 day ones, the people who had your back when you were at your lowest, you know what I'm saying? How are you going to be? You know what I'm saying? Like you've got to have some kind of loyalty. Some kind of loyalty. You know what I mean? Your A1 day ones, you should never throw them away for new people that just came in. It's just it makes no sense. Um you know what I mean? Like, why would you do that? That shows you have, like, it really shows me you have no loyalty in your bones. Because loyalty is everything to me. My A1 day ones, and I'm going to tell you this, ain't no one could ever shake that foundation. I will always be loyal. You know what I'm saying? Even if they decided tomorrow to never speak to me again, I'm still not going to you know, I'm not going to come on here talking crap. I'm not going to do that because I have something called loyalty. And that's just I wouldn't like somebody new came in here. You think I'm throwing? You know what I'm saying? Mm-mm. Yeah, Mr. Grumpy. But here's the thing: when people have that loyalty to money, right? Money comes and goes, and your morals and what you stand on. If you throw that away, money is the root of all evil, and money comes and goes. But true friendship and true A1 day ones, that right there is more important than money. Money can't buy loyalty. Money can't buy good people. You know what I'm saying? And you should never throw your good people away for money. Because money comes and goes. That shit be there 1 minute, be gone the next. You know what I'm saying? Money means nothing. Uh, all this, what do you call that? Superficial bullshit. Cars, clothes. You can ask anybody. That shit can be gone in an instant. Ask any dope boy on the street who's making fast money. He knows that shit can be gone in a heartbeat, right? Um, but like loyalty is everything. Your morals, your compass, like what you stand for, who you are as a person. That and your name. Your name should mean something to you. When I was a kid, your family name meant something. You could get handshake deals based on a last name, your family's last name. I could still do that. There's some people right now I could go to. I don't even have to have cash in my hand. And I could go get a car off their lot and shake their hand and say, I'll have your money for you, such and such date. And they know I'll be back. It's called a handshake deal. Those are very rare nowadays. You know what I'm saying? But if they know your family name and you're a good person, right? Then you can still do those handshake deals. And I can still do those handshake deals because my family name is absolutely respected where I'm from. The only people that don't like my family is the fact that they can't stand that we have morals and the fact we won't put up with their bullshit. But when it comes to important people, oh yeah, we've always had that. Respect to me is also another one, Miss Raditha. Respect goes a long way. And sometimes I do still say Mr. and Mrs. And I know that some people take that as a slight, but for me it's never a slight. It's always a respect thing. It always has been, always will be a respect thing. You know what I'm saying? Respect is everything, loyalty is everything. I grew up with the old school values, the old school morals. You know what I mean? Um, I some of these new people that come into certain spaces and stuff that y'all are having to deal with, it's like they have none. They have no morals. They have no ethics. They don't have a code. They don't live by loyalty. They don't live by that. They're greedy. Terrible hearts, bad things. They love to do bad things to people, right? I don't think nobody's mama should be talked about on these YouTube streets. Nobody's daddies, nobody's children. Innocent people should not be put into people's beefs. And I do believe there are people who are trying to start and cause and stir drama just so that they have um, content because it's the only content they have. But yet, there's so much in this world that you could speak about. You could do wellness talks about mental health. Speaking of which, I want to say this, Mr. Eric, since you're in here. When are you going to do your next prison live? I actually want to know more about stuff like that because I've never been to jail a day in my life. I've never been booked, never been fingerprinted. I don't know shit about that stuff. Um, I don't know nothing about that, right? Oh, see, now there's one of my A1 day ones right there, the hood table. That did you? Okay, the hood table. I did sing Asa happy birthday. I can't believe he's 4 years old already. I cannot believe he's 4 years old. Also, congratulations to the graduating person. Um, that's a person right there, the hood table right there, that I will always show loyalty to the day Lord takes me out of this earth. That lady right there is one of the best ladies you will ever meet in your life. She is an amazing human being. She talks about everything from the hood to the White House. I absolutely love and enjoy the hood table. She is a good person. When I say a good person. She may talk her mess and be and we all do, but that lady right there stands on morals. That lady right there is a good woman. I have to see that's something you don't do if you're a channel. You never ever forget those who were there for you when you were at your lowest. Can y'all give me just a second? Sorry about that, guys. I keep having people walking in, and y'all know I don't put my family on here. I'm apologize. But hey, the D Ham show. But you know for a fact, sis, the hood table. You my heart, girl. First off, I will ask of this you one time, decapitator of trolls. Just please make sure you're respectful to people in my chat. Um, that's all I ask of you. If you continue to attack anyone in my chat, you will be blocked. So it's you can have your freedom of speech. I don't mind that. But respect the chat. That's all I ask. I don't really ask a whole lot of people. Um, I really don't. Oh, is that you, Trot? Are you sure? I don't know. Wait, I don't know if that's really you. I don't know. I don't think that's. I don't think. I don't think that's Trot. I don't think so. Oh, is it really? 'Cause I was just making sure because I was saying, they got people with different names on here. No, sorry about that. My, family thing. Tomorrow is my son's appointment. I am very freaked out as a mom. You know what I'm saying with the situation at hand. Um, Miss Reditha, you don't now you Miss Reditha, you always nice. What you talking about? Okay, anyway. I am with that situation like going, what the shit, obviously. So all those who believe in the power of God, and those who believe in the power of crystals, whatever you do, whatever you believe in, say a little prayer, do a little healing, for whatnot for my son. That's all, and that these test results tomorrow give us some information and we can figure out what the hell's going on because, just some prayers, because this is a scary situation. I don't, want my son to have my liver condition. And I hope to pray to God they don't tell me it's genetic, and because I'm going to blame myself as a parent. I am going to blame myself because, I I don't want my kid to have to go through anything. Um, I don't know, Mr. Eric, if you're still here. Miss Raditha asked if you're still here. I don't know if she has something to say to you or ask you a question, maybe, possibly. Um, Honeybee, you make sure you have a good day, my love. But yeah, so I do know that Miss Michelle Meltdown is going to be having a live at 12:30 my time, which is Central Standard Time. Let me go look um, what her, um, let me see. Let me see what her title is so I can tell y'all. Um, because I'm gonna say this, as from one mod to a sister to another, um, I myself know what it's like to be a moderator for someone who is controversial in a way. And you get thrown into shit that sometimes you didn't even have nothing to do with. You just modding and minding your own little business. And people fuck with you just because you're a moderator. You know what I'm saying? And something you don't know, if Miss Michelle hears this or sees this or somebody tells her, um, I do a thing called Mod Mystery Monday. And if you would ever like to be interviewed for your, like, what you have gone through as a mod, you want to tell your story from a mod's perspective, I do that on Mondays. That goes for anybody that moderates, right? Anybody who moderates, and does moderation. If you ever want to, like, use, to come up here to tell your side as a moderator and the things that you've been through as a moderator, um, That's something that I do on Mondays occasionally. If a moderator wants to tell their side of things, that's what it's for. You know what I mean? So I do on Mod Monday. What Mod Monday is, I'm gonna like, to example, what I would ask of a moderator, right? My thing would be, okay, so who do you mod for? You can name all the people you mod for, right? Then I'm gonna ask you a question like simply, um, so as a moderator, what are some of the things that you um, do to moderate a channel? Like, what do you look out for to put in timeout? Do you have a specific thing that you only block for certain things? Then I'm going to ask you, okay, so some of the content creators that you moderate for, have you ever been involved in something that you didn't have anything to do with, but let's say people blamed you for it for being a moderator for this channel? Would you like to speak about that? How has it affected you positively and negatively? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. That's something I do on Mondays occasionally if a mod ever wants to do that. I give the option for people to do that, because a lot of moderators don't actually have channels, right? And they just mod, but they don't get to tell their side of things. They don't get to speak their piece. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I know myself, when I first got doxxed the first time, JT was not the first person to dox me. That It was because they thought I had blocked them in a chat, and I wasn't the moderator who actually blocked them, right? But I was just a mod at that time. This is before I ever started content creating. Here's the funny thing: I just started my channel. My channel is not when I started using my channel. Now my channel is older than a year old because I was using it to moderate and different things. But I just started using my channel less than a year ago. It says Miss Watcher said MRE is on and Eric is at 2:30 Central Standard Time. I will be on tonight with my Texas Death Row show. So far our lineup is right now Mr. MRE is on. So when I get off here, I'm gonna drop Mr. MRE's link. And then Miss Michelle will be on at 12:30, and then Eric will be on at 2:30, and then Watcher is doing a show tonight. If you know of anybody else who is doing a show that would like to, advertise, I love to do that because I love supporting everyone, communities. And what time tonight, Watcher, are you doing your show? Do you know about a roundabout time? Maybe 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, or, you know, 8. Y'all know that I love to support the community and love to support everyone. That's how I got my channel up and about, right? That's how I do my channel. Is because of me being a supportive person to other people is how. Okay, and the hood table will be covering the Diddy case at 4:30 p.m. as usual. So if you want to listen to what's going on in the Diddy case, you will go to the hood table at 4:30 p.m. That will be, if I'm not mistaken, you're on Central Time, right? The hood table. Yeah, because she's in the middle. She's on Central Standard Time, so that's 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Um, Watcher is probably going to be about 7:30 ish, somewhere around that time. So keep your notifications on. Look out for that. The hood table is going to be about 4:30. So the lineup goes: MRE is on right now. Then we have Michelle Meltdown. Then we have Eric Foss. Then we have the hood table, and then Watcher of Crazy. So those are shows that are lined up. If you want to watch any of those, I want y'all to know that they're there because they're amazing. I'm going to drop Mr. MRE's link right now. Watcher, if you could drop yours, I'm going to go grab. Wait, did I just drop? Yes, I dropped MRE's live link. This is going to be Miss Michelle's. I've already dropped Miss Michelle's, but I'm going to drop it one more time. Then I'm going to drop the hood tables one more time. Um, let's see here. So this is I'm fixing to drop. That's Miss Michelle's. I'm fixing to drop the hood table. Um, y'all will absolutely adore the hood table. I'm just going to tell you. She's a good person, good heart, great content. Um, I absolutely love her and adore her. I jump up on her panel, so there may be times that you see me on the hood tables panel. So if you ain't seen me on the streets, I could be over there with her. You might want to keep an eye on her channel because she's an amazing person. So the first one is Michelle Meltdown. The second one is the Hood Table. I think Watcher may be driving, so I'm gonna grab her link right quick. I got you, girl. This is, of course, if you're not subscribed to Watcher of Crazy, she's going to be doing a show about the guy who is on death row right now in Texas, and his execution is supposed to go down tonight. So you might want to watch this tonight. Um, and let me make sure. Um, I just got a dingy on my phone, y'all. Hold on just a minute. Maybe confirmation for my son's appointment tomorrow. Uh, yeah, it's what it was. I got a text message. Um, Also, I got to go back and rewatch. Miss Heidi Black did a story this morning called Black Bear Visiting My Neighbor's Friend, Wesco Gal, Morning Coffee, Bears, and Nature. Miss Heidi has been on vacation right now, but Miss Heidi does a show every morning called Coffee, like I do, Coffee Conversations. And this is before we knew each other, so we didn't steal nothing from the other one. And she goes on before I do in the morning, and sometimes I'll go up there and watch her before I go on. So Miss Heidi's also an amazing person. Um, and you know, just there's a lot of people out here who have amazing content who do shows. And if you ever yourself are going to do your first live, or you feel like, you know what, I'm going to do it, I'm going to bite the bullet, let me know. Let us know so that we could share you out and, you know, show you love and everything. That's how I got my channel started, was I was showing so much everybody love that they wanted to show it back to me. I got my 1K in less than 2 months of starting my channel. Literally less than 2 months, because of my amazing beef sector family. I will always give flowers to my beef sector family for that. And I always want them to know they're appreciated. I know that I don't necessarily talk about beef sector content as much, and I handle and talk about different things. But the beef sector will always be my home. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if I don't beef per se. Um, and I respect every single content creator within the beef sector and give flowers to every single person who has supported me. VS Icon, you know, the Hood Table, ODS, Lemon Drop my channel. You know, I will always, Demas O, J Dunn, I will never not give y'all's flowers. Not, I will always do that. Because that's, like I've stated before, the people who poured into you and loved you and cared about you, don't throw them away. Never do that. You know what I'm saying? I would never do that to any one of y'all that are in this chat right now or visited me today. You know, I'm not that type of person. I'm not going to do that. Even if y'all disagree and have fights, sometimes I don't involve myself in those fights because it has nothing to do with me. And I'm going to explain to you why. I learned not to choose sides in fights sometimes, because those people can make up within a week and then you look like the asshole. Happens all the time in the beef sector. Ask anybody from the beef sector. Happens all the time. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I stay out of it. And you know what I'm saying? And I hope people work things out. And I support both. I don't add to or subtract from the beef. I don't get in it at all. I just there to support. I'm there to love you up. I'm there to care. If you're talking about real content, I'll talk about it. If it's something drama related, I may not, I may not make a comment on what you're talking about. I may just talk to people in the chat and talk about cake. I've done that before. Or talk about, Snickers bars or Reese's peanut butter cups or, Starburst or, candy and cookies and cakes on my, talk about steak and cigars and different things. So I think that's the best way if you support two people who don't like each other is to just not add yourself to it. You get what I'm saying? Like, don't be in the amen section, as we say in the beef sector. That's what you. I know that same hood table. You will always have love for the beef sector, and sometimes we cover a little of the content, but we do other stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's why I've always said you discuss anything from the hood to the White House, and we do a variety different topics. We don't just cover the beefs. We don't just cover the drama or the things that are going down. We cover a lot of different topics, a lot of different things. Sometimes I just like getting on here and having conversations with everybody. Now, the Hood Table does a lot of TV show reviews. And so I would keep an eye on that. She does cake decorating. I mean, there's so much different content that she provides. You know what I'm saying? She'll do news stories. She just covered the 3 girls that went missing. I don't know if y'all know about that story, but if you go look at her channel, you'll see it. She just covered that. She covers local stories local to her. She covers things that happen, like cases like the Diddy case, and we've covered a lot of different stuff on your channel, the Hood Table. I know for a fact I've been there for a lot of them. You know, I will tell you this: the Hood Table's good people. Y'all gonna like her. A lot. The Hood Table's good people. She's got multiple different channels too. The Chai just came back on, so y'all gonna reviewing that one. I know you've been doing Power Book. Ain't that the name of the show? If I said it right, because I don't watch Power, but it's that's the name of the show, right? Power Book, or yeah, I think I said it right. Please don't tell me I just butchered it. But also the Hood Table, I've been around to different communities or whatnot, and some of these people you'll see in here are from MobTube, and some are from a different community that technically doesn't have a name per se. It's just a community of people that are awesome. Yeah, you always got to have the backup to the backup to the backup. And one of the links that I shared earlier is a set of books called the MobTube Chronicles, and it talks about that sector of YouTube. And the Miss Josie wrote them, and I read because I'm a reader. And then I got another person from YouTube's here. His name is G2K. I got his book of poems. He talks about the trying to change the laws about child predators and stuff. And so his books, his poems are about abuse and surviving abuse as a child. Yes, Power Book. See, I got it. I got it. They have 1 through 4 now. And if y'all don't know, the Hood Table does reviews on that. There's a lot of different content out here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to end this today. I want to thank you all for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. I don't want you to ever feel like you're never appreciated. I want to thank to anybody who has ever poured into my channel, whoever became a member. I want to thank you. For those who've gifted memberships in the past, I want to thank you. For those who have given me super chats, super stickers, all those things, thank you. For those who have just subscribed because that's their way, thank you. Those hit the like button, thank you. Those who gave me a click and a view and a watch, thank you. For those who sitting there chatting in the chat box or watching from the bushes or catching the replay, all of it, I want to thank you for every single thing. I appreciate every interaction. I appreciate everything you do. I don't want you to ever feel like you're not appreciated on this channel because you are my angels, and I thank you for being such sweet, kind, awesome people. And I want you to always know that you're appreciated for everything that you do. You could be anywhere else today, and you chose to be here with me. And to me, that's one of the most amazing things. Thank you all. I hope you all have the best day. I'll see y'all in y'all's lives. I'll try to be in every one as much as possible. Y'all know how that goes. Sometimes you got to clean and do things. So if I come in and say, hey, and you see me say, hey, but you don't see me for the rest of the stream, I'm still there. I'm just cleaning or doing something while doing it. Just know that I love you all very, very much. And thank you. I am one of those people that will appreciate it until the day I go. Also, I'm totally going to be putting up a show one day where I'm just going to be watching birds fly by. Anyway, love y'all. Bye.
I'm from the T-U-P-E-L-O. I'm reppin' my hood, so love I'm gon' show. From the T-U-P-E-L-O. I'm reppin' my hood to the day that I go. From the T-U-P-E-L-O. I'm reppin' my hood, so love I'm gon' show. From the T-U-P-E-L-O. I'm ripping my hood to the day that I go.
I'm from the west side, we don't need no introduction. This was the best ride. We all big boy rolling and holding. Come take a test drive. Hilldale, Evergreen, Glenkirk, Outer Street, bending every corner on the west, and that's where I'll be. Sunroof back, checking seat banging down 1800, chunking up the deuce to my post slanging down on 1800. Show no love to the ladies that's training round on 1800, making time stand still. Crystalline swinging down on 1800, watching out for them knuckleheads that be staying round on 1800. Big rims and low pros be blanging round on 1800. Better completely change the way you're thinking about around 1800. Really hate to see you boys get left slanking around 1800. Out of street got some history, just let Captain C lay it out. If I don't finish it all on this one, let the second verse break it out. Remember the blue apartments from OG standing back there by 60 deep. Bull walking, Charles Blue, a big Anthony Hughes and Pee.
I'm from the T-U-P-E-L-O. I'm reppin' my